Okay. I think, oh, I don't have my headphones. I was like, something is missing. All right, you guys, I'm on the wrong one. All right, let me throw on my headphones real quick. Okay, I think everything is set and ready. Appreciate everyone being patient with me. It always takes me a while. Either something needs to be updated or some setting needs to be changed. It always takes me, like, I'm always late. It's really frustrating because there's just too many settings and I have 5 different apps up and I just need to write down what I need to do, so I just get it done. But anyway, I'm here now. Hey everyone, it's good to see you. Vegan is the future. I agree. Hey Kim Cat, Anik, I see you. You Tops. Lambretta. I saw Lewis in here earlier. Thank you, Lewis, for reminding everybody on YouTube to follow and subscribe and just share the live. Also, before we get started, hey Ash, I see you there in TikTok. I want to share, oops, that's not what I want to share the live. Excuse me. Okay. Give me 2 seconds. Ash, I see you. Here we go. Okay. Quest up on TikTok. Oops. Oh, somebody's playing with their toys. Okay, so I'm pinning it in YouTube. So if you're on YouTube and you want to request up, just click on this link. If I can do something. There we go, pin it. All right, so I pinned it. So YouTubers, if you want to come up and request, just click on that link. Hey, Anik. And you can come up, you can request. Sometimes I have a lot of people, so it's hard for me to know who to bring up next. But if you request, most likely I'll bring you up. Oh, I forgot to bring up my multi-guest window. I need that. Hello, golden butterfly. I'll take you in a second. That is Jasmine playing with her toys. It's one of those things where the ball goes around. It's good to see you, Jessie. Or Frisia. It's good to see you, Frisia. All right. I'm going to close that. Okay, guys. So, why aren't you vegan yet? I got to remove this. There we go. Now you can see it. So, I'll be live this Saturday on anti-animal use. Please follow us. Hey, Lori. Please follow us on anti-animal use on YouTube. I don't have a TikTok account because nobody else in my group goes on TikTok. But we're on YouTube and Instagram. And like I said, we'll be live every Saturday in Portland asking people about oppression. And when is oppression acceptable? When is it moral? When would you tolerate being oppressed, meaning prolonged cruel treatment? When would you accept that? And with that being said, let's flip to our background real quick. I know I already have guests requesting, which is crazy, you guys. That's pretty wild. Oh, let's get our background back up. There we go. Hey, okay. I always worry with the reveal, is it going to work? I do listen to that Chip guy. He sometimes will pop up here. Usually he'll be in YouTube, though, if he's going to pop up at all. But, okay, I'm going to try to keep my eye on both YouTube and TikTok. I know I say it every time. I didn't even realize I was saying cruelty. I just mean non-consensual use. I don't ever focus on welfare. vegan anthem. I talk about, if I were the victim, what would I want? Would I want high welfare, or would I want to be free, not used? That's where I usually go. Oh, hey, Lori, I'll bring you up. Okay, golden butterfly. Oh, wait, first, hold on. Let me say hello to Lori, and then I'll bring you up, golden butterfly. Hey, Lori.
Hey, Joy. Hey,
How
how's it going? Nice background.
Thank you.
For you guys being out talking to people.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to be more regular with advertising it so people can go check it out and see us interviewing people face to face instead of just this form. But yeah, Thank you. Awesome. Well, I'll go ahead and bring up Golden Butterfly. It's good to have you up here, Lori. If you're not following Lori, you should be.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Oh, I do see Ozark. Yeah. Hey, what's up? Hold on one second, Golden Butterfly. Vegans.
Yeah, sure.
Vegans in my chat. If you want to come up, that's fine. I'm going to only allow up to 3 vegans on my panel, no more. And I only want you to request. We're not going to ask you to come up. I want you to request if you want to come up, okay? It's not that I don't like you. It's like I just want you guys to decide if you want to come up. I don't want you to feel pressured. Anyway, with that said. All right, Golden Butterfly. You're over 18, right?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I'm 25.
Awesome. So why aren't you vegan?
I think the biggest reason, and I think what most people think, is that it tastes good, and I think people aren't aware of how big the meat industry is and how cold it is. So people, it's just an out of sight, out of mind association. We're surrounded by meat all the time. It's very normalized. You don't feel like you're doing anything wrong because everyone's doing it. So there's this also perception that it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you agree though if let's say someone could benefit from your exploitation? Like, let's say I was paying someone and I was getting something from your exploitation. I don't know what, fertilizer, hair, I don't know what, your babies. Someone's exploiting you and I'm paying them. Do you think that I should stop paying them or should I keep paying them?
Let's say I'm just for the example, like I kill dogs and then someone gets the hair from those dogs and then uses it to make a product.
Yeah.
I think I think there's a level of.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, please. I interrupted. Please, go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's cruel. I don't know if it's like, I don't know. That's a hard question.
Well, so the original question wasn't about a dog, to be clear. It was you're the victim. Should I keep paying?
Oh, I am the victim.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like it. No. Yeah, I would think that it's a.
Oh, you might have cut out at the end there.
Yeah, I would think it's wrong.
Yeah, you would prefer that I stop paying your exploiter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. So, do you know what veganism is?
Veganism is nothing that comes from an animal. So no eggs, dairy, just purely beans, vegetables, fruits.
That is something.
The ones that don't scream, pretty much.
Yeah, that is a side effect of being vegan. But being vegan means it's a principled stance against the exploitation of other sentient beings like animals. And like I just gave out the example, if I can avoid demanding your exploitation, I should, and I do. Veganism is just that. If I can avoid demanding someone's exploitation, I avoid demanding it. Does that sound like it aligns with your principles?
It does, and I do buy pasture raised eggs. I mean, I try to be as conscious as I can, and I think eventually we will get to a point where it'll be scrutinized enough, that it'll start to be shamed. I think we're in a transition period. Mm-hmm. Because we do finally have the ability to get all our nutrients from non-living animals or non-living things. And it's something I do think about. But I do want to pose a question. Let's say someone who chooses to live off the grid and gets his animals literally from the land,
Yeah.
like let's say hunting,
But
farmers.
you
so to
just
speak.
said it though. You just said it's someone who's choosing to live off the land. That means they have an option. So they're choosing to go somewhere where they know they won't have access to all their food. They're deciding that their entertainment is worth more than the animals' lives that are already living out there, right?
Well, I would say it's probably like a more in tune with nature, just kind of because I think a big part of why veganism has a voice is not really because we hunt and gather, but rather we exploit the essence of life. Like we're able to create factories where thousands of animals can be raised inhumanely and then slaughtered so we can eat them.
Well,
I think that's veganism's biggest
what
contention.
why
In
do
my
we
opinion,
care?
I don't personally think
Why do we care about their experiences? Like, why is factory farming so bad?
because it's such there's like no choice in the animal's existence. Like it is they were raised to be slaughtered, and that I think that's a
I'm
big
still not hearing the
point.
difference,
You know what I
though.
mean? Versus
I still don't hear the difference. Why should I care about the welfare of the animal when the benefit is that I get cheaper products? Why should I care about the welfare of the animal?
um because it's I don't know, it feels wrong.
Could
I mean,
I
I'm
could
not
I
really
offer an
sure why.
answer?
I just kind of
That's okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So when you see a dog getting kicked, right? You hear them yelp. You can relate with that yelp. You understand that dog is in pain or experiencing something that's not pleasant. And you know that from your experience, if you were kicked, you might make a similar sound and you might feel like this is an injustice. So you can relate with that dog and
Yeah,
think,
like empathy.
exactly. You understand those emotions that the dog's going through, that you wouldn't want it done to you, and you can safely assume the dog doesn't want it done to them, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good reason for like factory farming. But when it comes to like someone choosing to just kind of be like, it may not be for entertainment. It may very well be because the whole idea of society itself is probably more detrimental than him going out and hunting for his game.
Well, why
You know what I mean?
do you think that we still need things from animals? Is there something we can't get from other sources?
No, not anymore. I think we can get everything from
Okay. Well,
plants and
since
all
we
that,
care, since we care about the animals' experiences, and we can get everything we need from other sources, what's morally justifying putting these animals through even the nice farms? Because even the nice farms have a bad day where they lose everything. So wouldn't it be preferable to not put them through that at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's a level of empathy that a lot of people,
It's not even empathy.
I mean, if I'm being honest, including myself, don't have necessarily.
It's not
'cause I
empathy.
justify it.
It's not empathy.
Yeah.
It's just recognizing an injustice and no longer supporting it. You don't even need to have empathy for them. It just connects that dot that if you were in the victim's perspective, you would want immediate action. You would want immediate relief from the oppression because it's unnecessary. You don't need to be put through that. We can get everything that we could get from your body, we can get from other sources. So the fair thing to do is to not exploit you and your family, right?
All right.
Yeah. So with that in mind,
Yeah.
are you going to be vegan now?
I don't know. I feel like an asshole for saying no.
Well, how many more animals do you want exploited for you from now on? How many more? Is it more than 0?
Conversation. You know what I mean? I do think that I need to be conscious. Like, if I could really get my nutrients elsewhere, I can. I think.
So I have
as of
resources.
Now, yeah. Oh, and I know of them as well. I guess it's laziness, but I still have the desire to treat it as a luxury at the very least.
What you should treat it as, is they're victims, because they're not given an option. You know, none of this is done in their best interest. It's done for our benefit, not theirs, right? So you need to ask yourself, if you were them, what would you want your oppressor to do? And live that way, because otherwise you're being a hypocrite. You're saying rights for me, but not for thee, right? Because they're a different shape and it's convenient. But if you were them, you would not accept that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree.
Yeah.
And it's something to think about.
Well, it's not just food for thought. I'm going to steal this from Jade. This is a call to action. I'm not asking you to consider. I'm telling you, you need to stop, because every time you pick up those packages, someone loses everything. Do you know how supply and demand works?
Yes. Yeah. So I'm supporting that industry, essentially.
Yeah, every time you pick up that package, they're sending the next individual into that system to endure having everything taken from them. And if you switch your demand to something else, they make more of the something else rather than the oppressed being. So you could actually prevent 100 to 300 animals from being forced into that system. That's a lot. I mean, imagine, you're standing in a crowd of 100 individuals, right? And maybe you and one other person sadly just fall over, unalived. That would be a tragedy for you, for the two of you, but out of the crowd of 100, right? That's just so minuscule. But you care what happens to you. It doesn't matter that you're a single individual. What happens to you matters. And it's the same thing to those animals. So if you could do that for 100 individuals, that's huge. You can make a huge difference.
This is what I'll say, because I have to get off. I'm just the next grocery shop that I go to, I will get all vegan.
Yay!
And I'll try it out.
I'll check out my resources.
I've tried vegetarian. Do you have a link for it? I'll just go to the grocery store.
Yeah, if you can you screenshot? Yeah, take a screenshot. Nutritionfacts.org actually has something called the Vegan Daily Dozen. If you just go to their website, the nutritionfacts.org, it's just called the Daily Dozen. And it's an easy checklist to get everything you need from a whole food, plant-based diet. And it's one of the cheapest diets, too. So you shouldn't be spending more. Yeah.
I will go ahead. I'll make it a statement. I will go. My next grocery shopping will be vegan.
Oh my God, Golden. You are an amazing person. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah,
all right,
please.
Well, I gotta go. Thanks for having me on here.
Yeah, dubs in the chat for Golden Butterfly, please, everybody. That was amazing. Thank you, Golden. I appreciate you coming up with an open mind.
Come back and let her know what happened.
Yeah, please. He dropped down, but I think he heard you. Yeah, please let us know an update. Reach out to us. And if you have any questions, you can message us too. Lori as well.
Hopefully he'll do it the right way and not just go in and pick a bunch of stuff, and
right.
go, ew, I don't really.
That's why I was pointing out the nutritionfacts.org, because at least he can get all of his nutrition for sure, and then he can experiment with those junk foods. So, yeah, dubs in the chat for Golden. That was great. Gripply. Hey, Gripply, are you over 18?
Yeah.
Okay. Why aren't you vegan yet?
I have an autoimmune disease.
Do you mind telling me what it is?
Yeah, I do. But pretty much I can only eat steak. I can eat rice also, but
honestly, I don't believe you already.
No, seriously.
I don't know, man.
I'm not lying.
Okay, we'll go with it. I'll go with it. It's fine. You don't need to prove yourself to me. I'll just take it as we go.
So yeah, I eat bison. Rice and bison for 3 meals a day.
Okay, so my question is,
pretty much.
if someone didn't have your condition, would you find it to be a moral obligation for them to live vegan?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I used to lean more in the vegetarian, at least, direction.
Okay, so do you know
and,
do you know what veganism is?
I think it actually contributed a little bit.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
What is it? There might be a delay.
So you don't eat anything from animals.
So that is a side effect.
Just anything. Milk.
Oh man, sorry. I don't know how big this delay is.
It's significant. But what do you mean a side effect?
So veganism is actually a principled stance against the exploitation of other animals, so sentient beings. Because I'm sentient, I care about what happens to me. I don't want to be exploited or used for somebody to get benefits from without my consent. And all sentient beings feel the same way. We all deserve to live free of human-caused exploitation. So that's veganism. Veganism is a principled stance against the exploitation of others. Do you think that others that don't have your symptoms or your what you're going through right now, do you think they should be obligated to live vegan?
No.
Why not?
Well, people have been eating meat for a long time. There's carnivores, and then there's
I know, but you're forgetting about the victims. What about what the animals want?
Well, I mean, but in nature, things eat stuff all the time. Nobody wants to get eaten, or nothing wants to get eaten.
Do you know what
That's what it is.
do you know what a moral agent is?
No. What is it? What is a moral agent?
A moral agent is someone like you and I, someone who can weigh out a situation and understand that morality is complex. We can decide what's moral and what's not. A moral patient, on the other hand, doesn't necessarily understand morality, but they are sentient, so they still care about what happens to them. So animals, for the most part, especially in the wild, are just moral patients surviving a harsh environment. They don't have access to grocery stores.
Is this where are you getting this definition of like moral agent, moral patient? Is that like just like a vegan thing, or is that like
No, moral agent is a common word. Moral patient, I think, was invented or brought to awareness in like the 80s. Moral agent, though, has been around for much longer. In fact, it came about, I can't remember who it was, came about saying that we should only respect those that have moral agency. So they were saying basically to not respect children or people that were losing their cognitive abilities, that we should only care about those that can reciprocate morality. So that then moral patience came into play for a little more clarification that even though someone may not be able to reciprocate morality, there's still a being that's experiencing the world and cares about what happens to them. So like a parent to a child, right? A parent who is a moral agent who understands morality and that it's complex has an advantage over a child who is not aware of what's moral and could potentially take advantage of that ignorance of the child, right? We would, as moral agents, find that situation to be immoral, correct? A parent taking advantage of a child?
Well, obviously, but that's not...
because the parent knows better. The parent knows what's right and wrong. A child doesn't necessarily know what's right and wrong. Do you see?
Yeah, that's not irrelevant.
Yes, it is. Because what you're saying is because animals do something, you can do something. But you're a moral agent, they're a moral patient. Just like children. Children may do stuff that is immoral, but they don't fully understand. So it's kind of absurd to use children or animals as your moral compass because they don't even understand it. Yes, but I just went over this. What's a moral agent?
Well, just because we're moral agents, by your definition,
So,
doesn't mean
again,
that we're not animals.
should an adult who is a moral agent take advantage of a child who is a moral patient? Do you think that's a moral situation?
So where does our morality come
You
from?
can't answer my question? You can't say that that's wrong? Is
No,
it
I mean,
wrong?
I already answered that.
Is it wrong? Say it again, because I
answered
need
that
clarification. Is it wrong for a
No, but I
parent?
answered it.
So you're not
You
gonna
just
you
keep
can't
saying
you
it.
can't say it again? You can't answer?
Well, I mean,
Is it moral, yes or no, or we'll move
You
on?
didn't answer my question.
Is it moral, yes or
I mean,
no?
for a child,
I can just move on.
yeah,
Okay.
No, I mean, obviously.
Exactly.
I mean, obviously,
because that child is
that
going to
kid,
experience
child.
something.
You're just going to steamroll me here, and then try to tie it back into what you're saying.
Yeah, but it's because you're
but it
not
doesn't
understanding.
tie it.
You're saying your same statement over and over
No,
again.
I don't stand under what you're saying.
Yes, I know. Look, I need you to stop talking for a second. What I'm saying is, just because animals do things that we might deem immoral, that doesn't give you the license to do what they do. Animals grape each other. Animals unalive their babies because they're too small or they don't want to spend time on them. Would you think that it's moral then for a human to go into court and say, I ate my baby because lions do it, Your Honor, I should be allowed to do it? Do you see why your argument is silly, why you shouldn't use animals as your moral compass? Just because animals do it doesn't give you the license to do it. They also unalive each other. Is schmurder now moral in the human context? You can unmute yourself. It's in the middle.
Okay, so that was a little rude to mute me.
Oh, I'm sorry. If you can't handle it, that's fine. You can leave. I understand that it's rude, but I just needed you to stop talking.
Okay. So are you kicking me, or what are you doing?
No, if I was going to kick you, I'd kick you. If you want to answer the questions, I'll keep talking to you. But if you're going to complain about my method of talking to you, I'll move on.
Well, no, I was just trying to say, like, you could move on to the next thing, because we already covered that. But
I don't think we covered anything.
As far as, like,
I don't think we covered anything. All you did was disagree with me that you think that if animals do it, you should be able to do it. That's all I've gathered from your opinion.
No, that's not what I said. What
Okay.
I said is it's
Go ahead.
it's evolutionarily, like, we're omnivores. We're designed.
Are you
to
again
eat.
going to say that because animals do it, we should do it?
No, I'm saying
Okay.
that we're omnivores.
So what?
And I never said, because you kind of shoehorned that
What?
in, like, in that argument. You kind of put me into that position, and then
I didn't.
Then fed me your answer to it.
Look.
What I said was, it's the food chain. I didn't say because animals do it.
What is the
that
food
we should
chain?
do it.
What's the food chain?
What I said was,
What is the food chain?
we are but, like,
What's the food chain?
we are omnivores.
What does omnivore
What's an
mean?
omnivore?
What's omnivore mean?
You tell me.
It means that we can eat either another animal or plants. It doesn't mean we have to.
So tell me why. So tell me why I tried not eating too much meat.
Because you didn't do
I
it
tried to
for
limit
one.
it.
You didn't actually want to do it.
And then, no, I did.
What's
I really
veganism?
did.
What's
And then-
veganism?
I didn't say I was doing veganism.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
said
maybe
I
you
was
should
doing-
try veganism.
Well, no, because I would die.
Why?
Because I cannot get the nutrients that I need.
That's not true, though. It's just not true. If you look, let me
I
put
can't
it. Let me
even
put it
show
this
it.
way, Gripley. Let me put it this way. I'm obviously not a doctor, and I'm not a nutritionist, but I know you can get all your needed nutrition. Tell me,
Without soy
stop,
gluten. How?
grip, please. I'm asking you a question, please. I want to know. Would you prefer? Let's say we have a utopia in front of us. Would you agree the utopia would include not taking animals' lives, but still getting all your benefits that you get right now? Would you agree that that would be preferable to not take any animal lives, still get all your benefits?
No, I think in a utopia, everyone would do their own farming.
Oh my
and have a
God,
little bit of morality.
you dumb. I'm done talking to you. Holy crap, dude. That guy does not understand that animals are sentient. He could not wrap his walnut around that. That's insane. No, I think that people should have the choice. What about the animal's choice? You forgot somebody.
Yeah.
Such an oppressor.
Victim.
Yeah. Exactly. Can't think about his victims. He's so much about the oppressor's benefits. He cannot stop thinking about his pleasure. Oh, I need that pleasure. Oh, I've tried. No, you didn't try going vegan. I didn't say I tried going vegan. Okay, well, I'm not advocating for anything else other than for you to go vegan. Okay?
Right.
And you even just said you don't care about the animals. When I asked you, in an ideal world, shouldn't we get all our benefits without using animals? No. I must have someone suffer for me. It gives me pleasure to use their bodies for my sensory pleasure. Gross. Gross. Does that sound like some logic that you want to follow? Sounds like a rapist's logic to me. I don't care about my victims. I only care about my pleasure. It's gross.
Right.
Anyway. Lori,
Hello.
hey, Dum, hold on one second. Hey, Lori, I know you know this, but I'm going to say it out loud. If you ever want to speak up, I'll keep an eye on you, make sure I don't talk over you. Okay, Lori? Just,
Okay, no problem.
okay, cool. All right. Is it Dum?
Yes.
Okay. Are you over 18?
Yes.
Okay. Is it okay if I call you V1? I just don't know if TikTok is going to
I don't care. I don't really care.
Okay. Okay. So I'll call you V1. Why aren't you vegan yet?
Okay. Well, a few years back, I tried going vegan, but I just couldn't.
What does vegan mean?
Vegan means to not consume animal products nor animal meat. I went vegetarian for like a few weeks, but I couldn't.
Well, so veganism, so that you are right that many vegans avoid all animal products, but that's not veganism. Veganism is actually a principled stance against all exploitation of other animals. So I care about sentient beings. Yeah, if I can avoid demanding your exploitation, I avoid demanding it. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. So does that align with your principles? Hearing that?
Not really.
So if I have the opportunity to benefit from your exploitation, I should go ahead and reap those benefits, or should I not demand your exploitation? Which should I do? Continue demanding your exploitation or stop? Well, what would you prefer as the victim? Do you want to keep being used without your consent, or would you rather be left alone to do what you want?
I would not want to be used.
Exactly. What makes you think the animals want anything different?
I mean, I see where you're coming from, but at the same time, like, yes, animals are somewhat sentient, but
They are sentient. It's not somewhat. They are sentient.
you have to think of their neurons. You have to think of like how like overall intelligent they are.
Why?
They are intelligent.
Oh yeah.
But why does it matter?
I'm sure they are, Lori.
V1, why does it matter?
Yes. Because us humans have over 80 billion neurons.
So?
Say a chicken has 40 million neurons. Or is that a cow? I forgot.
It doesn't matter.
The main point is they physically cannot comprehend what is going on
How do you know that?
the same way that we can. Because of the neurons.
We have evidence.
We have 80 billion neurons.
V1.
They have 40 million.
Hush. I understand. I hear you. You're saying we have more neurons. I don't need you to pound it harder. I got it. Do you have evidence that this makes a difference on wanting to live? Do you think animals don't want to live? Oh, I'm sorry, Laura. I didn't see you on mute. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Oh, no, you're fine. I just didn't want to talk over you. So,
No, you're good.
V1, do you think the animals don't care about living?
I didn't say that.
So why does it matter about their neuron count when we know that they want to avoid harm and continue having their own unique experiences?
The neuron count matters because
It doesn't, though. V1, stop. Please stop. You're being ridiculous because your point means nothing. Nothing. Okay? Animals care about what happens to them. They care about their lives. Go ahead, Frisia.
Yeah, no, so V, when I was just going to ask you, because you keep on going on about neurons and how that, for some reason, makes it okay or not okay to exploit someone. Is that what I'm hearing?
I mean, somewhat, yes, because they can't comprehend what's going on the same way that like we can. So like comparing murder from a chicken to a human
Well,
is
hold on. So, okay, so I think so. We're not comparing the two, right? We're not comparing a chicken to a human. What we're saying is that a chicken deserves to live their life free from exploitation the same way that anyone, any sentient being deserves that. That's what we're saying. So you're trying to compare the two, but it's not a comparison. We're
basically
simply no. We're simply just saying respect them.
You just told me back the same thing I said, but worded differently.
What?
You did.
How? You're justifying you're justifying farming and using
I said
animals,
you
and I'm
guys
saying
are.
no.
I said you can't compare a chicken to a human, and you said, and I quote, "We're not comparing a human to a chicken. We are."
David, your mom's calling.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that his mom yelling at him in the background?
You really 18, David? Yeah, that's what I thought.
I don't know where this neuron thing was going either. I was like, so do we like check neurons on humans when they're born, make sure they have enough to respect?
Yeah.
Right?
What a silly line.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you already said it. It's like, it doesn't matter. It's sentience. It doesn't, we can compare apples and oranges, right? That wasn't what we were doing. You can compare humans and animals. Yes, we have many differences, but the things that we share are what are important. Our sentience. They're sentient.
Right.
We're sentient. We care about what happens to us. He just didn't want to get it. Wow.
Yeah, it's simply just about respect. Like, just respect another being and not take their life, not farm them, not exploit them, not oppress them. Like, it's not complicated.
Really is. I get so frustrated sometimes because people try to make it really complex. That I've even had conversations where they literally say, "Oh, it's just a complex issue." It's like, it's not complex. It's literally your choices, and especially if you're in like the global north, you have so many options. It's cheaper and healthier for you, in fact. It's just, it drives me nuts. It's like you guys are purposely making it seem complex so that your change, the change you have to make, is distant. You know, it's a coping mechanism. Oh, it's complex. It's not. It's not. If you were the victim, you would want your oppressor to figure out how to not use you as soon as possible. When you're the other side, you understand. But as the oppressor, sometimes it's hard to see the injustice because you're reaping benefits, and that can cause you to not see what you're doing. Yes, I know they have tasty flesh, so do humans, but we find it immoral to eat baby bacon. If you're over 18, go ahead and request up. I see lots of opinions in the chat. Why aren't you guys requesting up? Also, lots of vegans. Hey, guys. Hey, 40-year-old vegan. I see you in there. Come on up. YouTube audience. I see I've got some trolls there, too. What'd you say, Lori? Sorry.
He said they're all yakking a good game, but maybe they're not old enough.
Yeah, maybe that's true, too. Man, my reach is pretty small this morning. Usually, I get more people. And I even got my advertisements up earlier yesterday. I thought maybe it would bring in more people. Meat stoner men. Are they men of... Well, I guess that's humans. Humans are made of meat. And as long as they smoke something, I get... Or, you know, like, I can't say that word. Can of beans. As long as they're gardening, I guess. They could be... I was like trying to recover.
That was so good.
Thank you.
As long as they smoke can of beans.
You gotta think about that.
That's too good.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I guess my man then though is a meat stoner man because he is made of meat.
We all are.
We all are. Yes. Yes.
Flesh is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another funny thing is when people say, oh, they taste good. It's like, that's not a moral justification though, right? Like, we taste good too.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, there's cookbooks on how to cook our flesh, so people have done it. Okay, Noah.
Oh yeah.
What is the food chain?
There's no such thing,
What is the food chain, Noah? Because what I know about the food chain is that it's like an elementary level way of teaching kids about food webs. It's like an introductory. It's like a zoom in on webs, and you get to learn about that transfer of energy. So you're basically learning about the trophic pyramid. And you get the primary consumers, the secondary consumers, and so on. Primary being grass, secondary being herbivores, and then so on to omnivores and carnivores, right? So it's not a pyramid of power. It's a pyramid that shows you the transfer of energy. All this sunlight, all this energy goes into the grass, and the herbivore eats the grass. The herbivore only gets 10%, 10, gets 10% of what goes into that grass, goes into their body, into their muscles, right? And then as they're living, they're moving around, they're burning that energy. They're turning those calories into energy that they burn off into heat or just to even think, right? So not all of it gets used for the omnivore or the carnivore when they eat the herbivore. You're only getting, again, 10% of what went into the primary consumer or the secondary consumer. You're only getting 10% every time you move up that pyramid. Something else you learn about that pyramid is when chemicals bioaccumulate in someone's body and then a predator comes and eats their body. If they do that over and over again to multiple infected or bodies that have these metals in them, it bioaccumulates in the predator's flesh. So as you're consuming cows, whatever they're eating, which by the way, their food is more heavily sprayed with pesticides. That's bioaccumulating in their muscles. All right, so we're already making them eat a ton of pollution. And then you're going to eat whatever's bioaccumulated in their flesh. Right? That's something else you learn from that pyramid. So the circle of life, the food chain is just a way of explaining nature around us in the sense of this is how energy transfers. This is how people can get sick from eating other animals. Quayla, are you over 18?
Yeah. Why is it wrong to unnecessarily kill non-human animals? Go ahead.
So veganism is actually a stance against exploitation. We're not against unaliving.
How old is this person?
You think it is justified?
Hush. Are you over 18?
Justified?
Can you answer?
Yes.
Okay, this is my live. You're not up here. You don't get to tell me what to do.
You said you think it is.
Oh my God. Could you take your ego down a little bit? I want to have a conversation with people, not someone who's just trying to look good. Like, I understand you're trying to flash your debate pretty boy muscles, right? Trying to pick up a few ladies or something. I'm here to talk
You have a double chin.
I'm here to talk about the animals. Yeah, that'll get you a date. Why don't you just start insulting women? Women like that.
He jumped real quick to misogyny. That was his
Big time.
right off the bat.
Yeah, he's like, you want to see how weak I am? Here you go. I got to compensate for something.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably hasn't moved out of mommy's basement yet, so hasn't seen the real world.
No.
Yeah.
No, he hasn't.
If anybody actually has a real argument, I'd love to talk to you. Ugh, this is probably another child. Wubby, are you over 18?
You deserve to be raped.
Wow, can someone please report that guy? That guy is dangerous. He is for people becoming victims of grape. His name was Wubby. Please go find him, and otherwise I'll have to do it afterwards. Definitely going to get that account shut down. Okay. I'm going to smile bigger now, Noah. All right, this person's named OK. Let's see if we get verbally harassed again. Are you over 18?
No.
Okay.
No, not from me.
Good,
Yes,
good.
I'm 19.
Right on. Why aren't you vegan yet?
It's just how I was raised, I guess I would say. I more so came up to ask, like, to start off, assuming you are vegan, what does your average, like, daily diet look like?
Sometimes I eat oatmeal in the morning. Then I'll have like a fruit smoothie, which the oatmeal I'll add like flax and hemp seed to, maybe some walnuts and some frozen fruit, or sometimes I'll just cut up an apple. And then my lunch and dinner, I'm kind of lazy, so I'll kind of just make one pan of food. Actually, my partner cooks. He'll make one pan of food. Typically, it'll be like just beans and whatever veggies we have in the fridge, maybe with rice or with pasta, like a rice-based pasta. And yeah, that's about it. And then sometimes,
Okay, so-
sometimes I'll be honest. Sometimes I eat like junk food because I'm American, and I don't have my. I'll sometimes take vitamins because I'm lazy and I don't want to keep track of my food every day. So sometimes I'll take those just for simplicity.
Yeah, no, I have a whole jar or shelf of supplements just to
Mo-
fix whatever
You
I'm
know,
not getting
honestly,
into.
it sounds like for everybody, because they did a study, and I think it was I don't know if it was just on America. I think it was. And they found that like 90-something% of Americans are deficient in something because we don't always know how to eat. We just eat out of convenience, right? Or what we were taught.
Yeah.
So it should be, everybody should be probably taking a multivitamin of some kind.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. And I guess the one point I wanted to come up and make, I remember learning about this a little while in school. Assuming veganism is meant to deter the animal products industry, it enhances the agricultural industry, which is known for, killing millions of animals every year.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, are you talking about the animals or the plants? The animals, right? The crop deaths?
It could be the animals, it could be the plants, it could be something as small as insects through, pesticides, stuff like that. So I just wanted to know your thoughts on that.
Absolutely. So veganism is a principled stance against the exploitation of sentient beings. So as far as like plants go, I'm not morally concerned about them as individuals. And then when it comes to like insects and the animals that are unalived in those fields, it's more about intentional versus incidental. So, for example, if I was to go for a drive and an animal jumps in front of my car, right, I'm not looking to run them over. It's just something that happens with our roads right now. But the thing is, we can improve our roads, right? We can make, as a group of humans, if we come together on this issue, we can improve our roadways and our paths so that animals don't intervene in them. The opposite situation, what if I was running them down, right? That's when it becomes immoral because I'm looking to take someone's life. So when it comes to my food, when I don't want to demand someone lose everything. I don't want someone to be born into existence just to be used by me. Whereas in crop deaths, these animals are free and they're coming in their own volition. And most farmers, if they're good farmers, they're going to put deterrents up before just the defenses. But typically just, these pesticides and whatnot, this is to protect the crops. And if we were to eliminate animal ag, there's actually a study on this. You should check it out. I don't know if anybody wants to put it in the chat. It's called Reducing Food's Environmental Impact Through Producers and Consumers. They go over thousands of farms in hundreds of countries. And they found that we use 83% of our current agricultural land to raise animals for their space and their food. So we're growing all these plants and plowing down all these monocrops that are harming animals because we're feeding other animals. So if we stopped animal ag, and this is also in that study, we could reduce our ag land use by 75%, and we could still feed our population and then some. So we do know that if we were to stop animal ag, we'd actually reduce greatly the monocrops and the plants that we're growing. I'm sorry, go ahead. I did talk for a while.
No, that actually is a good point. I didn't think of that. I just know from the studies by the USDA. I don't know how many years it goes back, but at least over 1 million animals have been killed through this agricultural.
I think it was
industry.
7 billion is like the
Beavers,
highest.
7 billion?
Yeah, it's the highest number, but I think that's worldwide.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
the USDA statistics are going to be different than globally, but like the Fisher study on field deaths is like the most comprehensive, and they estimated about 7.3 billion. They even say that number is going to be likely be high. Unfortunately, they don't quantify insects because those are hard to quantify, just because there's so many of them. But
Yeah.
like when it comes down to our land usage and the amount of land required and like the practices specifically for like animal feed, a lot more pesticides and herbicides are used on those lands. So there's a lot more harm to animals that comes from like providing feed for animals anyway.
There's also the possibility of underreporting.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but they like in the study, like they mentioned that they were like aiming high just to try to avoid that. But like, I mean, if you have any other data that demonstrates that there might have been like unreporting and stuff or underreporting or like different statistics, I'm always willing to look at data. I'm just providing what like the most comprehensive data like available mentions.
Yeah, no, that was honestly just an assumption. I think with all data studies, there's always the threat of underreporting or even overreporting. I guess
Absolutely, I'm not going to disagree with you.
Yeah, that USDA article is the only thing I wanted to bring up. I'm not too knowledgeable in this. I just wanted to ask you about that. I apologize for the people before me. That's a little rough.
Honestly, all it says is when people are that triggered, it says that they know what I'm talking about and they know that they need to make change and they're scared of it. That's all it tells me. So I've kind of done my job already, right? I've raised the awareness. Now they get to live with this cognitive dissonance, which is that discomfort of realizing that you're doing something against your own principles. So they have to live with themselves.
Yeah. Well, all right. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Could I ask you one last question before you go?
Yeah. What's up?
So how many more animals are going to be exploited for you now that you know that a vegan world is possible and sustainable?
I know it's possible. I didn't want to bring up this argument, just like, people saying they like how it tastes. But at the end of the day, I think that's why I'd probably just continue doing it. Mm-hmm. It seems like a big lifestyle change, and that's something that I'm not looking to make right now, respectfully.
What if you were the victim, though? Like, what if you were them? What would you want your oppressor to do?
I would definitely want them to stop, but I'm lucky that, I'm not in that position. So I'm just going to stay where I am.
You are in the oppressor position right now. So I just want you to remember that you would demand respect and mercy, but you're denying that to somebody else in the same situation.
Yeah, makes me feel bad.
Okay, well, I don't necessarily want you to feel bad. I want you to take action. It's not about guilt. It's about knowing that you're demanding someone's exploitation and oppression when you wouldn't tolerate that yourself. You know that it's immoral to do that to somebody else because you wouldn't want it done to you. Have you seen what the animals...
I understand.
Okay, before you go, have you seen what the animals go through? Have you seen, like, Dominion?
I've seen brief videos through lectures.
If you could do me a favor, please watch Dominion on YouTube. It's free. And
what is it called?
Dominion. It's right here on my screen. You can screenshot it.
Dominion.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's just standard practice. So you need to ask yourself, watching that, do I feel comfortable giving my money to people that do this to animals? This is so that when you go into the store, you're not hypnotized by their images of happy animals. Or if you even go to a farm, they give you this illusion that the animals are okay with this, but the animals are not aware. We have to trick them into this, right? So you have to ask yourself, is this moral? Should I keep supporting it? And if the answer is no, I don't want to support it, the answer should be I'm going to find a way to not support it, which is veganism. Veganism is really easy. It's not as hard. I felt the same way. I was reading a book that was telling me these things, and every chapter I was like, God damn it. Like, I'm used to the way I'm living my life. I don't want to make changes that seem hard. But once I did it for a month, it literally was super easy. I don't even really think about it now. I know the products that I like. I know the products that are available to me. If there's new ones, I just read the back. But I've kept you long enough. You sound like an honest person. So honestly, when I hear an honest person, it's out of respect that I push you because you sound like someone who's willing to listen to reason and logic. So with that said,
Yeah,
though,
no, definitely. yeah, I do have to get ready for work, and I'll
Okay.
after work once I'm home, I'll definitely take a look at that video that you said.
I really appreciate that. Thank you. Awesome. And if you have
Got
any
it. Thank you
any
for
words,
having me.
yeah, please contact me if you need. Okay.
Okay,
All right.
thank you. Have
Yeah.
a good day.
You too. Bye.
Hey, VSL, I don't recall if you have me as a mod or not, but like
You should.
there's I know you added me, but I can't mute anybody and I can't
Yes.
what's it called? Remove people. Like that Qualia guy, I'm familiar with him and I was gonna try to
Oh.
remove him before you even talk to him.
It says that you are, but
because it's just-
I'm gonna remove you and then I'll add you again. Okay.
Okay, yeah, just because there's like people that enter my spaces that are like real big debate bros and stuff.
Yeah.
So like I try to like protect other panels from that and like remove them. So
I do
and
appreciate
I
that.
didn't have the opportunity to do that.
Yeah. Let's fix that.
Were you talking about like on the panel trying to mute and that kind of thing?
Yeah, like I was trying to remove that Qualia, just because
Yeah.
like I know what he does.
Yeah, so like I think because VSL, I think it's because you're on a computer or something, or I don't know. Does this yeah. So like what you got to do as a mod is you have to go into the guest request button and then manage guests from there, and then you can mute them and all that kind of stuff from there, but you can't do it by like clicking on their profile picture, if that makes sense.
Oh, so like while they're on the panel, I have to go through like the guest request thing.
Yeah.
Interesting. Thanks for the heads up.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Okay. Yeah, it took me a while to figure that out.
I still don't really understand. What do you mean you go through the guest requests?
Like, so, you know, the two people at the bottom, like the,
Oh, yeah.
So you have to click on that, and then and there's like the manage guests.
Oh
button.
yeah, I see it.
Yep.
Yep.
And then from there you can
Gotcha.
mute and that kind of thing.
Ozell,
Yeah, that's good to know. I never noticed that. I see it, so I'm good.
I changed it. I did switch you. It is on the desktop still. Does your powers work? Are you able to like mute someone on the panel or?
Yeah, I should be able to. I'll give it a try.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, don't be sorry.
You can mute.
Yep, it worked.
Sorry, Frisia. Awesome. Okay.
I was literally just saying, you can go ahead and mute me.
It's funny timing.
Now this is probably just a TikTok glitch, but it shows that you're mute while you're talking.
Me?
Oh, I do right now.
Oh.
No, Frisia. Yep.
Oh yeah, it must be a glitch.
Okay. I see you as unmuted, but yeah, TikTok has been weird lately. When I was setting up, like it loading into TikTok literally took like 30 seconds of it just loading in this window. And I was like, what is happening? Am I going to be able to go in? It was, yeah. I don't know. It's been really slow, especially with buttons. When I click on them, it like takes like, I don't know, a couple of seconds before it responds. Hopefully it's not like a sign that my live was taken down or something.
I think TikTok's just kind of been funky lately.
Okay. I do know that they had some kind of a change. They did a deal, and I don't know what that deal was with, and I didn't even read through all the new rules.
I don't think that affected anything, but all of the new rules were just reinforcements of like older rules that were already in place with some like very minor changes that a lot of people were blowing out of proportion.
Okay. All right, good. Good to know. Good to know. Okay. Well, TikTok's just being mean then, I guess, or just slow and stupid. I don't have any requests right now. I don't know if there's anybody that's like intimidated. I promise I won't bite at you unless you like pick a fight with me. So I'll match your energy. I try not to, but that's the only reason why I start to get worked up is people trying to beat me instead of having a conversation.
I don't know if because there's a lot of political stuff going on lately. I noticed like over the last like couple of weeks, numbers have like just kind of been low across like everybody's platform.
It's true. Yeah, my numbers are really low this time and last time. But I see people in the chat. Like there's people in here. I don't know why nobody wants to come up, guys.
There's people like
I see
yakking their
Stretch.
crap.
Also the daylight savings time too.
Oh yeah, that
there's a
too.
few.
That's true. Now I'm technically, isn't it like, it's technically 11. So right now it's 10 a.m. So technically it would be 11 if we were still in daylight savings time.
Yeah.
That's true. I did feel like whenever I did do a live an hour later, my viewership definitely dropped. I wonder if it's because it's like that sweet spot in people's lunchtime or something. Oh, hey, Daniel, I see you in YouTube. I have the YouTube chat going too. Everybody loves my panel, by the way. My YouTube audience loves everybody that's up here right now. So say hello, everybody, I guess. You have fans watching you.
Hello. Yeah, I did want to let you know. I did end up accessing my other account again, but
okay.
I have more live privileges on this one for some reason. So I just decided to deactivate that one again, and I'm just going
Gotcha.
to use that one as a backup since I have like more capabilities with significantly less followers. It's weird.
That is weird. But yeah, we'll get you back up to the same number once people find you on this account. Everyone go follow. This was Ozark. Now he's Ozel. Please go follow him on. Wait, your YouTube name is still Ozark though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm probably going to change that, or
Okay.
yeah, I'm probably going to change that.
Okay. Yeah. So
It's still Ozark Limbs on YouTube.
say it again. Oh yeah, Ozark
It's
Limbs.
still Ozark Limbs on YouTube, but I haven't posted anything in months on there.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, you still have great content. What's up there right now? So, I always like to point people at your YouTube just for the reference of the videos, but I usually point them to your TikTok because I know that's where you're more often active. So, yeah, everyone go follow Ozel. If you're in the YouTube, click on the link that I pinned in the chat. You'll go to my TikTok and you can look for Ozel. Just search for him. You can see his name right there, Ozelith. Definitely check him out. Great activist. And then we've got Frisia right below. I'm pretty sure all my audience is following Frisia already. But if you haven't already, please go follow her. And then we also have Lori. We have great activists today. I'm honestly really excited about my panel. Appreciate you guys being here.
Yeah.
I have no audience, though. Not audience, no requests. We scared them all off, I guess. Any non-vegans that are over 18, please come up. Donna, I feel like I've seen you before. Donna Z, you're vegan, right?
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Well, go ahead, Ozel.
You can always you can always maybe try to restart the live and reset your algorithm.
Oh, okay. Do you guys think I should do that?
I mean, like if you're having this low of followers and you're not getting requests, it might not hurt if you plan on being on longer.
Yeah. I'm gonna share and see what happens.
Okay.
You know,
40, I saw you. I saw your request. Then you dropped. Why'd you drop? The 40-year-old vegan. People should go follow the 40-year-old vegan. His name is David. He's great also on YouTube. To my TikTok audience, if you haven't watched his stuff, he does street outreach and he also goes to slaughterhouses and does witnessing and other protests, but he's always live and interacting with the audience. So he's a great vegan activist to go follow and support. Definitely go check him out. I saw him request. I was going to bring him up, but
yeah, I mean, if you need space, I can drop down enough if another vegan wants to come up.
Yeah, I gotta head off soon anyway,
Okay.
so I can do that.
Well-
It's so funny because like I never really go on YouTube, but it seems like there's like a whole nother
yeah, a whole world.
world.
Yeah, no, it really is. This is like two worlds coming together right now. So yeah, exactly. It is a whole other world over there. It's own vegan celebrities.
It's not as nasty on YouTube. I used to watch some live shows years ago on YouTube, and it just, I shouldn't say it was nicer. There was a lot of jerks on
Oh yeah,
too.
they have their own swath of commonly known trolls that like to frequent the vegan lives. And hey, Hannah, I see you. Yeah. Oh, I see. 40. You hit the request button on accident. Gotcha. I don't know. I thought you wanted to come up and say hi. All right. Well, you guys, I think I am going to restart the live. Yeah.
I gotta go anyway. I just thought I'd come up.
Yeah.
Since nobody was requesting, I thought, okay, I'll request.
Yeah, hell
some
yeah.
shows. Love.
Exactly. I know I'm loved here at least. That's good. All right, guys. Well, then I'll restart. YouTube, you're going to stick with me during the restart unless, do you have a call? Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought my partner had a call or something. So yeah, I'll just restart the live. I'll be back in like 2 minutes.
All right, bye.
All right. See you guys. I'll see you in a minute. YouTube, you're sticking with me. Awesome. Oh, I made 2 cents on that one. Or is it 16? That's this week. Money. Look, I'm rich. All right. Where is, close that. Oh yeah, I gotta rearrange. I forgot it doesn't, It's not automatically in the right spot. There we go. Okay. I think that's good. I'm sorry, guys. I haven't been paying attention as closely to the YouTube chat. Whoa, there's a Lewis in the chat. That's not our usual Lewis. It's weird to see someone who's not vegan named Lewis. Just restarted the live, so we'll see if the algorithm gets big again. So Lewis, the issue, see, you keep talking about these animals in groups to space yourself away from them, to forget that they're sentient, but you are missing the point that they each care what happens to them. They're all sentient. They're individuals, just like human slavery. The human slavery wasn't bad because it was unsustainable. It was bad because someone was losing their freedom, their autonomy, their family, everything. We can get, our labor through other means. We don't need to use people without their consent. Yeah, exactly. Actually, the vegan diet is more commonly found in third world nations because it's cheaper. Hey, Lori. And those nations that do rely on using animals because the animals are cheaper, is usually because their nation is focused on growing the food for those animals. So, that's why they don't have access to human food. They're focused on growing food for the animals. So then, of course, raising animals becomes cheaper because they're more incentivized to, feed them. It's very similar to slavery. Sentient beings being enslaved, used with not in their best interest, right? We're demanding someone be born into existence who already has their own purpose. They have their own unique experiences, their own unique likes and wants. And we're ignoring that. We're forcing our purpose onto them, making them do what we want them to do despite what they want. And often we have to trick them because they are really good at resisting. And if we trick them, they're more easily manhandled. Just tired of people talking about animals in groups and that's the justification. It's like, oh, people grow all these animals and then they can choose which ones they like. What an oppressor mindset. Yeah, Lewis, do you think that humans should now eat their babies because their baby is weak? Yeah, exactly. We take so many lives. We take 92.2 billion land animals. We take their lives. We actually, every year we raise and feed for slaughter 92.2 billion animals. We slaughter about 80 of them within that year. 80 billion. So many lives. On top of the crop deaths, because we're feeding them crops. So the thing is, if you care about animals, right, we care about their experiences. That's why we go out of our way to buy the humane labels, right? If we care about their experiences, we should know that we don't need to use them at all. And that means that since we don't need to, forcing them to do this, to do things for us, is immoral. We're forcing someone to do something we wouldn't tolerate doing or being done to us. And we're doing it without even considering their consent. They are sentient. Sentient means the ability to experience life uniquely, to have your own unique experience of pain, joy, suffering, loss. They have those. They dream. What then gives us the moral right to take everything away from them? Exactly, Daniel. Do you think that animals deserve respect? That's the ultimate question. And if you do, then you would do your best, to your most practicable ability your honest ability to not demand someone's exploitation. Exactly, Vegan Anthem. It's binary. Veganism or sentience is binary. You either are experiencing or you're not. And then it's just about intelligence from there. It's about richness of that experience. Yes, some individuals have a much more rich experience, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's always going to be humans. Humans, honestly, are a little distracted by our sapience, right? We're always thinking about thoughts. We're thinking about the future and yesterday and this interaction that I just had with someone. I'm going to think about that for a minute. Whereas animals are more here in the present, right? They're not distracted with sapience as much as we are. Therefore, honestly, everything I would imagine is more intense because they're aware of it every second. Like when I was a child, I wasn't really getting lost in my sapience. I wasn't getting lost in thoughts because I hadn't had a life yet, right? So I was more present, you could say. And I remember things being much more intense. I remember my feelings being hurt more easily. I remember, even a bee sting hurting more. My soup being too hot when my dad was like, this is not hot. Things are more sensitive when you're not distracted by sapience. And I imagine the animals, they have way stronger senses. They can smell, they can hear, they can see, things that we can't. And that us putting them through that system could make that what they go through even more intense because they're in the moment experiencing it right there, bored in a tiny pit, with a bunch of other individuals. Or even a happy animal that's like feeling like they're part of a family and then suddenly is betrayed by having something sharp dragged across their throat. How does any of this sound fair? And if you were the victim, wouldn't you want your oppressor to stop? Looks like we're running into the same problem though. No one's requesting it. If you're over 18, please come on up. I see opinions in there. Fish have nociceptors. They feel pain. They want to avoid it. They recognize faces, right? They have a hierarchy. They have individuals they prefer to be around. Yeah, come on up. Guys, I see a lot of opinions, but no one's brave enough to come up here and defend them. It is too easy to be a keyboard warrior, Ladies' man. Hey, are you over 18?
Fuck, man.
Okay. I don't know exactly what they said. Sounded like they said F men. Like, if you want to, that's fine. I don't care. Yeah, the fish, they feel. What if you were to suddenly lose your sapience and be to the equivalence of a fish, right? You're still moving around. You still have things you enjoy doing, right? You still have pleasure because maybe you enjoy the sun or sitting in a pool of water. But you lose your ability to think about thoughts. Should we then take advantage of you and exploit you just because you don't have the same level of sapience as the rest of us? That's fish. Fish may not think like we do. They have other things they're thinking about. They're surviving their environment, right? They still care about what happens to them. I know they look alien, but they still want to avoid pain and keep living, and they care about what happens to them. That's all that matters. There is sadly a lot of eggs in products, and it's on the milk and the eggs. The reason why we see so much of them is because our farmers are paid to overproduce. So then other companies are incentivized to use those overproduced things, even when they don't need to, like milk powder or eggs. Hunting animals is still immoral. Why can't we just go hunting humans, right? And I got a park across the street from me when humans are just wandering around, especially old ones, right? They're just wandering around, enjoying their day. Should I pew them, take them home, cut them open, clean them up, and eat them? Throw them on the barbecue and eat them, of course? I can't eat raw. That would be immoral, right? That person, doesn't matter if they're 80, 90, they most likely wanted to keep living. And that's not fair to take that away from them when I can get everything I need from other sources. Cabernet? Cabernet?
Yes.
Hey, are you over 18?
Good morning.
Hi. Are you?
Yes, I am.
Beautiful.
I'm 66.
Right on. I appreciate talking to adults. Why aren't you vegan yet?
Okay, so I believe in always asking questions because the only way you learn anything is by asking questions. So, with the respect to that, I respect your opinion and your beliefs
I don't care.
and whatever you like to do.
That's okay. I don't care.
I know you don't care, but I'm going to tell you anyway.
Okay.
That's the other thing. The young ones, especially you, you're too busy criticizing what other people do when why should you care what other people do?
Because I care about your...
I just have to ask really quick. Are you driving?
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm riding.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
I thank you for thinking of my safety. I got no problem
I
with
just
that
heard
whatsoever.
turn signals, and I just wanted to make sure.
No, my brother's in here with me. So, could you answer my question? Why you?
Sorry. I was trying to unmute myself. I muted you. What I wanted to say is, I don't care what you do. You do whatever you want, okay? Genuinely don't care what you do. What I care about are your victims. If you use somebody without their consent, then I have a problem with what you do. Does that make sense? I didn't mean to mute you, by the way. Again, I was trying.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So my question is, so if I was to go by your theory, you're saying we don't kill any animals.
We don't
We don't
exploit
kill
them.
fish.
I'm saying we don't exploit them. Veganism is not against unaliving. And instead of saying the K word, we have to say unalive because it's TikTok. But veganism is not against unaliving. It's against exploitation, which means prolonged cruel treatment. We're using somebody without their consent for our benefit, not theirs.
Okay, can you explain a little bit further on that for me so I understand?
So would you, I'll give you an example. If someone was exploiting you and getting benefits from that, like either your labor or maybe your flesh, and I'm paying them to do this because I want those benefits, but I don't want to do the dirty work, or maybe I don't have the time.
Okay.
Should I keep paying that person to exploit you, or should I stop? What would you, as the victim, prefer?
Well, as a victim, as a true victim has no say so.
I'm asking what I'm not asking about what is. I'm asking what would you prefer if you were the victim?
I would prefer them not to.
Exactly. You would prefer that I stop paying the person that's exploiting you, right?
Right?
Right. So what makes you think that the animals want any different treatment?
I don't know.
Well, so do you understand that?
I'm not them. I can't think for them.
Do you understand what sentience is?
Yes, I do.
So I'm going to just repeat it just in
here's my
case.
question
Hold
to
on,
you.
hold on, hold on, hold on,
I don't-
hold on.
Okay.
So the importance, you need to know what sentience means, and I'm not sure that you genuinely do, so I'm going to just say it just so that we know that we are on the same same page, okay? So sentience is the ability to have a unique experience of life. You're just able to have your own subjective experience of pain, joy, loss, happiness, okay? You're able to have emotions. That's what sentience is. Animals have sentience. We have evidence of this. So we know that animals do want to avoid harm. We know that they do care what happens to them, and they prefer to keep living and having more experiences. So with that in mind, what then justifies putting them through this system that we, as also sentient beings, would not tolerate being put through? What morally justifies the difference in treatment between humans and animals? It's in the middle. I can't hear you. You're muted. There you go.
You keep turning my mic off.
I did do it that time, yes. The first time I didn't mean to.
That's okay. So I just want to, because I'm listening to you, I want to respect you, so I want to answer the question only for a simple fact. This is what I consider a learning experience. Would you say that?
That's not the question. The question is, what's the morally relevant difference between humans and animals that justifies the difference in treatment?
I think he was implying that it's a learning experience for him.
Yes.
I don't understand though. How
I'm
is that
trying
a
to understand.
So
okay?
yeah, she's just asking you to use some critical thinking here and try to like.
And I will.
Yeah, no, no.
But what I was
I'm just
trying
going
to
to
say.
reiterate the question so you understand. Like she's just trying to ask you, like, to try to identify what you perceive to be the actual, like, difference between us and animals that grants us moral consideration, but not them.
And like I was trying to say before, I understand that. And what I said is a learning experience. Not only is it a learning experience for me, which I'm trying to understand, but to me, you're being very opinionated. I'm listening to you, but you're not listening to me.
No, no, we're asking you a question.
Okay, and I will try to answer that to the best of my ability, if you at least let me.
Yeah, yeah, we're just trying to ask the question. We're waiting for you to answer it.
Okay, for purpose sake, repeat the question. So I understand it completely.
What is the morally relevant difference between humans and animals that justifies the difference in treatment? Why is it okay to farm animals, but not okay to farm humans?
I would say there is no difference.
I would agree with you. There's no morally relevant difference. So then what justifies what we do to animals?
So here's my question. I understand what you're trying to say, but I'm trying to so I understand you more better. Let's just say that we do exactly what you say. We don't kill any animals or anything like that. So how would you suggest that we would nurture ourselves?
Eat vegan food.
Okay, and what exactly is vegan food?
Anything that doesn't have sentient being body parts or their secretions in it.
Okay, now what if that is not enough nourishment?
It is. We have evidence that it
I guess
is.
a better question would be is why would you assume that it wouldn't be, especially that's since that's how like livestock get their nutrients. Now I'm not talking about ruminant animals, even though most ruminant animals are still fed grains and other stuff other than grass, but like the vast majority of animals have digestive tracts that are similar to us when it comes to our consumption and require food that is edible, and they get all of the nutrition that they need. So I guess what makes you believe that we can't?
Well, for several reasons. I have a sister who's allergic to a lot of the foods that you're specifying. So how is she supposed to get nourishment?
Talk to a dietitian.
I'm sorry, dear. You're saying something you have no clue about.
So,
You don't know about the human body.
let's just say this. Let's just like grant, like for the sake of the conversation, let's just grant that your sister absolutely cannot, even though there's like no medical condition listed that like ever prevents.
You have no clue
No,
of
no,
that.
stop. So I actually do. I'm well familiar with the empirical data that's available
Oh,
on
okay.
all of the issues. So I'm just going to say, for the sake of the conversation, let's grant that that is actually the case for your sister. I'm being lenient here, right? Because I don't know her actual position. So in good faith, I'm just going to take you for your word. You don't have those conditions. So what's preventing you from not doing it?
Because I choose not to.
Why are you up here?
Well, I thought that we're trying to learn from each other.
You're not trying to
Is
learn,
that why
though.
you're on?
You're not trying to learn. You're trying to fight.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to fight.
Yes, you are. If I was here to
So-
if I was here advocating against the dog meat market, would you be up here?
Yes, I would.
You would. You
I
would.
love dogs.
You would defend people eating dogs.
No.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. If I was up here trying to fight the dog meat market, would you be up here telling me that I'm forcing people to do something?
No.
Okay.
I just know.
So what is the difference then between the dogs and the other animals?
What I'm saying is, life is not fair.
Okay, so I can enslave you then, because hey, life's not fair.
You're right. Life is not fair.
So
Life
do you
is,
see?
There's a
You
lot of
see how?
injustice in the world.
Do you see how you're not using any critical thinking and you think you're winning this? You just look like an idiot because you're saying, I don't know anything. I can't think for myself. I can't look things up. I only know how to get on TikTok and that's it. You don't know how to use Google. I don't know how to use an AI search engine. I can't do anything for myself. That's what I'm hearing. Because really the questions should be more like, so my sister has this obstacle. I have this obstacle. And I don't want to hurt animals anymore. What can I do to avoid demanding animals lose everything for me? Instead, you're up here telling me because your sister can't do something, you're going to choose just to not do it. Do you hear how there's no logic to that? You just sound like a child. I'm not going to eat my vegetables. My friend gets to eat candy for dinner, so I want to too. That doesn't make sense. That's not how it works. You know what's right and wrong. If you know it's wrong to use somebody when they don't consent, then you should treat them with the respect they deserve. You should not use them, just like how you would want to be respected. Do you genuinely enjoy using animals for your benefit, or would it be preferable to get all those benefits you get, taste, pleasure, protein, whatever, without the animals losing everything? Wouldn't you agree that would be a more preferable world? Get everything you need without the animals losing everything. Would you agree? Either you can come on mute or we'll move on. It's up to you.
Why do you keep muting me?
Because you keep talking and you're not listening. I need you to listen. You said you came here to learn, but you just keep talking.
Yes. I
Okay,
am.
Cabinet, I gave you the definition of veganism. If you're here for learning, what is the definition of veganism then?
Okay, I can see we're not going to agree or disagree.
Yeah, see, you can't have a conversation. Go ahead, Ozell. I'm sorry.
Man. No, I was just thinking, oh man, like that was. I talked to somebody like that yesterday too, just completely incredulous.
Credulous, that's the word I was thinking of. I was like, they're like having this shock to something. It's like, it's not that shocking or unbelievable, you know, what we're saying. And it's like, it's their way to deflect their responsibility. Oh, I don't understand though. I can't do anything that's right because I don't understand. Do you know what's right for you? It should be that easy. I don't want to be exploited. I don't want to be used without my consent. So why is that okay for somebody else? Just ask yourself that. Why is it okay for them? And if you say intelligence, if you say because they look different or they think different, you're no different than any other human oppressor who said, I have this trait, you lack this trait, or you have something that makes you lesser than me. I'm going to ignore the fact that you're sentient and just use your body for my pleasure. You don't need to use animals, though. You can still live fine without using animals, Gabriel. I understand that you're going to choose to be a bad person. I can't make you be a good person, right? It's like talking to someone who's being really racist, and they understand where I'm coming from. Oh, I get it. They're just people. They don't deserve to be discriminated against, but I'm going to keep doing it anyway. Okay, you're a bad person then. You're evil. The fact that you're unwilling to change because your pleasure matters more than your victim's experiences. It's terrible. Mars. Hey, are you over 18?
I am 25.
Right on. Why aren't you vegan yet?
I used to be a vegan. I was vegan for 15 years, and then I stopped being a vegan.
What does vegan mean?
What does it mean to me? Or are you asking like for the
The definition. What's it mean? Why would someone call themselves vegan and avoid all animal products? What's the reason?
Well, I mean, it's someone who does not use or wear any products that come from an animal. That's what vegan is. Like, they don't eat it, they don't use it.
That is a side effect, but veganism actually means to live without exploiting animals, without demanding another sentient being's exploitation.
You know, throughout this debate, I've heard you say a lot of claims, such as like, if we can't abuse animals, if it's morally accepted to be able to eat animals, then why isn't it morally accepted to be able to eat humans? A lot of your claims have been across that, and I don't feel like it's a legitimate argument.
Why not?
Because humans and animals don't sit on the same moral compass.
So?
How do you like justify that? Like, what's your logical justification for that?
Because humans have moral agency.
Yeah. So, can you explain to me what you mean by moral agency?
it's meaning we understand. Meaning we understand concepts like freedoms, rights, consent, and like justice. I mean, animals don't operate on that type of level of
No, so
awareness at all.
it just means that like we can like analyze like ethical concepts and apply them within our actions, right? So children are not moral agents. So do we sit higher morally than children, would you say? Like they deserve less moral consideration?
Say that again. You cut out at the very end. I didn't hear the full length of your question.
Children are not moral agents. And you implied we sit higher morally as in like higher moral consideration because humans are moral agents. Not all humans are, but like in the case of children or like severely disabled people, they're moral patients. Does that mean they get less moral consideration?
No, you're right. Small children aren't fully moral agents yet, but they belong to a species that is. Humans as a
So
whole are moral
that's
agents.
just gonna be special pleading because
No,
like
it's not. Humans
it
as
is.
a
Do you know
whole
what
are
special
moral
pleading
agents.
is?
I'm aware of what special pleading is, but if you're
So
going to say that
when you say
children,
humans as
no,
a whole, that's special pleading when these other entities lack that. Like that's literally special pleading. You're saying even though they don't have that, they should still be included because, and whatever reason you attach onto that, specifically the group bias that you are presenting right now, right? So you're saying moral agency only matters when it comes to specific beings, but not other beings.
that's not special pleading. It's recognizing a factual difference. Special
Actually, special
pleading, to
pleading.
me, well, let me finish. I let you finish. Special pleading is when someone applies rules unfairly without justification. That to me is what special pleading is. But in this case,
Special pleading is an
you
informal
guys would love
fallacy.
to let me
Hush,
finish.
honey, hush. Special pleading is an
Don't be rude.
stop. If you can't handle my live, that's fine. But yes, rude things will happen. We're here talking about someone's rights, and you're telling me it's okay to use someone without their consent. So yeah, I'm going to get a little
I
aggressive
never
with you.
said that.
Well, that's what. If you're not using, if you're not,
Yeah, I'm sorry. Those words
stop,
have never come out of my
stop.
mouth.
Would you stop talking? Good effing God, just yippee yapping. Look, if you're using animals, you're using someone without their consent. Period. That's it.
You would know that if she was really or had been vegan.
She hadn't been vegan. She was plant-based
I was
because
not a
she
vegan
couldn't
for
even.
the animals.
Yeah, she was vegan for her health or maybe the environment, but
I was
not
a
for
vegan
the
because my
animals.
parents are straight up hippies. That's why I
That's
was a
not.
vegan. I was
It's not
born a
vegan.
vegan.
It's not vegan.
I wasn't
Not
a
vegan.
vegan
Not
because
vegan.
I
Not
wasn't.
vegan.
So I'm gonna ask you,
I'm
Mars.
sorry. It's not
What's
a
your
I'm
vegan
logical
sorry.
lifestyle.
I'm
I
sorry.
didn't wear
I'm
animals.
sorry.
I didn't do any of
I'm
those
sorry.
things. You're
Mars,
being rude.
Oh,
I don't
Mars,
think
I
you
wanna
know how to
ask you-
debate.
oh my
truly.
God.
Mars, I want to ask you, Mars, what's your logical justification for unnecessarily exploiting others?
Say that one more time.
What is your logical justification for unnecessarily exploiting others? Do you guys understand the question? Am I like not being clear with the question?
And the question.
Straightforward.
I was muted. I
I didn't
did
mute
not
you.
recognize I was muted.
Okay,
Give
I was
me
like,
1 second.
I didn't mute you.
My justification isn't about exploiting others. It's about participating in natural responsibility. Exploitation. Let me finish before you guys interrupt. Exploitation.
Because you're not answering the
Please
question.
let me finish. You can't ask me a question and not let me
Yeah,
finish.
I can ask you a question and then you can answer it. I didn't ask your other question. I asked you, what is your logical justification for contributing or for acting like unnecessarily when it comes to exploiting others? That's the question I asked you. What is your logical justification for doing that?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. My logical justifications are based on 3 principles: nature's, necessity, and morality. Those are my logical justifications.
Okay, let's address one of those at a time. We'll start with nature. What do you mean by nature?
Humans are omnivores by design. biologically adapted to consume both plants and animals. Do I agree that humans can live on a plant-based style? Absolutely.
Outstanding. So that removes the necessity, right?
I would love to debate you, but give me a second. I let you speak and I don't interrupt you. Please don't do that to me, or this isn't a debate, it's an argument.
If you can't handle my live, just leave.
Don't be rude.
Just
I don't wanna
leave.
hear you.
Just leave. Just leave then. Why are you here?
Because this is a debate. I
It's
thought
not
it was
a debate.
respectful one.
It's
Apparently
not it's not a debate.
All I did was say was that removes the necessity. That's it. That's all I said.
All I've asked you is to not interrupt me while I was speaking.
Seriously, if you cannot get over being meta about the conversation, we're going to move on. If you keep complaining about how you're treated, I'm just going to drop you.
So I asked you to explain.
Do what you need to do.
So I asked you to explain what you meant by necessity, or not necessity, nature, right? And you said omnivores, and that satisfied that, right? So, and you already conceded that necessity isn't a case because humans can survive and thrive on a plant-based diet, right? So when it comes down to nature and being omnivorous, both of those points now, like, aren't a justification because it's not a necessity, and we don't need to be doing that because we are omnivores, right? So nature really has nothing to do with it either. It's not nature or necessity. And then you said morality, which I tried to address with you earlier. I asked you like what you meant, and you said, well, we are moral agents. And when I asked what you meant by that, like we went through that, and then I described how there are some humans that are not moral agents, and you said, well, they don't count. And we're just going to get back to group bias and special pleading at this point, right? So I'm going to ask you, what is the necessary condition or trait that removes consideration from non-human animals but grants it to humans? Something consistent.
The necessary condition for me that separates humans from animals and justifies moral distinction is moral agency grounded in rational self-awareness, I should say.
Okay, perfect. So then that means that those without moral agency ought to be exploited, or it's permissible to exploit them.
I think you're kind of running a red herring here. I mean, humans uniquely process this through advanced prefrontal cortex development, the part of the brain that like is responsible for like reasoning, moral judgment.
What do you mean by red herring fallacy? Like, what did I do that was a red herring?
You're asking these questions when you know the difference between humans and animals.
I'm asking you to clarify.
Animals, while sentient, lack this capacity for moral reflection. Do you agree?
Yeah, and so do some humans. I already acknowledged that. Like, I understand what moral patients are, right? I'm asking you to justify, like, or at least make it make sense. Like, how are we going to address this group bias and this special pleading when you're invoking moral agency as what grants or removes consideration, but you're not willing to grant that to every moral patient versus every moral agent? It's just illogical. It's called a performative contradiction via special pleading and group bias.
I mean, you're right. Some humans, like infants or like people in comas, bear with me if I say things I can't, and TikTok, just correct me, or those with like severe cognitive like disabilities may lack moral reflection like individually, but they still belong nevertheless to a species capable of moral reflection, one that builds moral systems, laws, and like societies and policies, so on, like, stuff like that.
Yeah,
So like
I
moral
understand
value
that.
to me isn't aligned on a case-by-case cognitive test. It's based on membership in the moral community, the humankind. Just
Okay,
because
so
you're
that's group
born
bias,
or
right?
have a
Again,
disability let me wait. Let me
No,
give
no,
you
I
this. Just because
understand
you're
what you're saying. I
born
don't need to
or you're
listen
a
to the rest
child,
of what
a
you're saying
child.
because
No, no.
essentially you're justifying ableism, you're justifying racism because you're using group bias and special
Whoa!
pleading.
Excuse you?
Yeah, I'm just going to mute you so I can finish what I'm saying, right? Unless you want to stop talking. I'm not saying that you are yourself. I'm saying that group bias and special pleading and saying, well, they're included because they are us and not them. That's exactly the same kind of justification that people with oppressive mindsets when it comes to like sexism, racism, ableism, and all of those other forms of oppression use. You might not realize it because it's something that you've been conditioned to believe to be true, or it's just what's acceptable for you. But group bias is group bias. Special pleading is special pleading. Like, if you're not willing to extend the consideration to all of the moral patients that are humans, then it has nothing to do with the fact that they are moral patients, but that it is them and we are us.
That's kind of a false analogy.
Explain that.
I can say racism, right?
I did. Yes, you can.
Okay, racisms are wrong because they discriminate between members of the same moral community, all humans who share equal moral agency and rights, and then those are forms of I'm sorry, I can never say that word. Prejudice deny equally when it already exists. That doesn't make any sense. We're talking
Okay,
about the
so
same
yeah, I
human oppression
understand.
on human oppression.
I understand. So yeah, racism is an arbitrary assignment of consideration based off of polygenic traits, right? When we're talking about speciesism, we're talking about an arbitrary assignment of consideration based off of genomic variance or species membership. Both are used to discriminate somebody based off of arbitrary differences. So like, how is that a false analogy?
Because the human and animal distinctions are fundamentally different. It's
Just
based
like
on
the
prejudice,
male,
or
just
it's
like the
not based
male
on
and
prejudice or
female
emotion.
distinctions are like valid trait differences, right? Like somebody that is a male is different than somebody that is a female. But it's arbitrary. That's my point. Just because those differences exist doesn't mean that there's any like specific like sufficient qualities that removes consideration because of that.
I mean, to me, it's not arbitrary. It's relevant. So an arbitrary distinction is
Doesn't
made
describe
without
how it's
reason.
relevant, though. All you did was say, okay, well, this is the case, except for it's not when it comes to specific individuals. That's arbitrary. Like, that's literally arbitrary.
An arbitrary distinction is one made without reason. The human animal moral distinction is based on clear, consistent reason, moral agency. I don't
Okay,
understand
so
how
I'm going
you
to
don't
ask you
understand that
again.
difference.
I'm going to ask you again, since it's based off of moral agency, we're going to test this consistency. You ready for this? Is it morally permissible to exploit babies that lack moral agency?
I'm sorry, I had no idea I was muted.
I didn't
No,
either. I didn't
it
mute you.
wouldn't. Oh, that's fine. I didn't know I was muted. I was talking. No, it wouldn't be morally permissible to exploit babies, even though they wait, even though they certainly lack moral agency. But let me give you a reason why I believe that before you hop on it. Here's why I believe that. Moral value doesn't depend personally only on those who persist ability to reason. It also depends on their membership and potential within the moral community of humans. Just because they're babies and they lack moral capacity in certain agencies doesn't mean that they're not humans in general. It doesn't erase that they're from the human species and eventually will get there if they don't have certain disabilities.
Yeah, so I'm just going to point out again, then it has nothing to do with moral agency versus moral patient. Because if it did, you'd have to extend that logically to everybody that is a moral patient and not a moral agent. So we just go back to exactly what you said, group membership, which is group bias fallacy, which other forms of that are stuff like sexism and racism. Like you're just saying because they belong to a group, they get that consideration. But because they are different, like that's what it comes down to, because you haven't been able to demonstrate a consistent necessary condition or trait. Like if
Okay.
you have one, by all means, but if not, I am obliged to inform you that you might not be aware of it, but this mindset is the same type of mindset people use to justify oppressing other people.
Okay. An animal, by contrast, are sentients. We all agree on that. But they're not moral agents, not now or not potentially. A cow can never become a moral agent the same way a child will. Do you agree to that?
Yeah, but I guess I have to ask you then, why are we using humans? Like what makes humans and their moral agency the standard? Like how is that logical? Like why does it matter that a cow will or will not be a moral agent? And then I'm also obliged to tell you that you're saying because they lack the ability to do something, it is okay to exploit them, which justifies ableism.
Humans are only known species capable of moral reasoning.
I never disagreed with you on that. Like I never even made the claim that they weren't. I just didn't even like that. That wasn't even like a part of like what I was saying at all, right?
Okay, well, morality has to come from a being that can understand it.
That's
Animals
irrelevant.
Asked why. He asked why is it important?
I am not going to talk to you.
Mars, this is my live.
Then kick me out because you're rude.
Why don't you just leave? Why do I have to force you?
Just do it.
Why do I have to force you? Why can't you just do things?
Disconnected her because she's rude as fuck.
She is rude as fuck, and she's such a child. Do it for me. Ugh, I can't do things for myself. All I can say is my group better. That group I can use. That's all I heard the whole time. I have an ability that others don't.
I'll just finish my line of reasoning for the audience really quickly.
Yeah.
I just wanted to reiterate that when you say that they lack the ability to do something like demonstrate moral agency that's still lacking in ability, when you say it's they lack the ability, so it's okay to remove that consideration, that by definition is ableism.
100%. She literally was just going over and over again that basically people who are able are the only ones that should have moral consideration. And then when it was brought up, her hypocrisy for humans, all she could say is, well, they're part of my group. Well, that's what YT supremacists said too. Oh, they're still part of my group. So as long as they're part of my group, they get moral consideration. If they're not a part of my group, I'm going to ignore the fact that they want to live. I'm going to ignore the fact that they care what happens to them. I'm going to ignore the fact that they want to avoid suffering and continue living. I'm going to ignore that. I'm going to use their body for my sensory pleasures, Mars. You're using the logic of not only a racist, but a grapist. You're saying because you don't have the same qualities as me, because you're not as intelligent in the same subjects as me, I get to use your body without your consent. I get to do whatever I want to your body because it brings me, the supreme being, pleasure. I don't care that you suffered. I don't care you lost family. I don't care you lost your autonomy. I don't care. I care about my sensory pleasures. Mars, you can sit there in the requests. I don't care. You're a horrible debater. Go ahead, Ozell. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Nothing. Before I forgot, I just wanted to say for whoever sent gifts, thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, that's sweet, guys. Thank you. Yes, please support my panelists. You don't need to send money to me. I don't need the money. I do appreciate it. It's just sitting in an account. But the other panelists, please support them. They produce content regularly. They are awesome activists. Please go and help them. Go send them money. Or even go to like a sanctuary. you can give them money. But just know that if you're not vegan, giving money to sanctuaries or activists doesn't negate what you're doing, okay? It's kind and great. I love it. And it's usually vegans that do it. But if you're not vegan, you're donating, that doesn't erase what you've done, right? You need to change your actions. It's the only thing that scares me with donations is that people might think, oh, this will counteract my bad habits. Joshua, I didn't ask for money. What an idiot. I'm sorry, Lori. I heard you pop in.
No, I was just saying you're right. That happens.
Yeah, it totally does. Yeah. I've considered bringing like some way to, because I have sanctuaries around me to like for people to sign or donate money to. But again, I'm scared they're going to be like, oh, I don't have to go vegan now. It's like you could do both, but you have to definitely go vegan. Hey, I'm not going to call you that. Can I call you D?
You can call me HD.
HD? Okay.
Yeah, like hashtag daddy, HD. So look, I used to be a vegan. I used to be
real quick. You're over 18 though, right? You sound like
Yes,
it.
I am.
Okay, just want to make sure. Go ahead.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I just want to make sure.
I used to eat plant-based for 2 years straight. I didn't eat any dairy or any animal products. And it was for a couple of reasons. For health reasons and because I was considering the ideology of vegans, right? Not exploiting animals. However, once I looked into the human anthropology, I realized that eating meat was a vital part of humans becoming humans.
I've been vegan 9 years though.
Right, I understand, but I'm talking about on the evolutionary, theory.
Do you
stuff,
think
right?
that if we stop using animals, we're going to stop evolving?
We don't know that.
Well, no, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, as we evolve, we start to see other things as well. That plants are also sentient.
Hashtag daddy, I'm going to ask you really quickly, can you substantiate both claims that like it's required for our biology to thrive like when consuming animals and that plants are sentient?
Yes, I can explain why and show proof why plants are sentient.
I just want the empirical data.
Right. But this is not your platform. I'm talking to the lady, and so what I'm saying is you interrupted me when I was explaining what I was saying, and you want to ask me loaded questions.
I have no issue like letting you guys continue your conversation. I just asked if you could substantiate. Like all I did was ask if you could substantiate those claims before we go further, because if not, then without evidence, those claims can be dismissed. I'm giving you the opportunity.
Okay. Well, there's been scientific studies that when you play music to plants, that they react to it. When you
that study,
have a human
that study has not. Hold on. That study has not been reliably repeated. Just so you know, it was just fluffed up in the news. It was one study. They have not been able to get consistent responses from that study.
Okay. So, and there's also studies of human reactions with plants as well.
Yeah, again, they're not reliably repeated. So there's there's an article that actually goes over these studies that you're mentioning that's called Debunking a Myth, Plant Consciousness, and it goes over 50 years of studies that looked into plant sentience, and they found that all these studies that you're mentioning right now have not been reliably repeated. They don't get the same responses. It's just a random response. So that we don't.
Have you ever seen someone put the electrodes to the plants?
Again, Daddy, listen. What did I just say? What did I just say? What did I just say? What I just did, Daddy. Come on. Focus.
Says that.
Focus. What?
So I can go look it up.
Your source. To substantiate your claims.
Please cite your source
without providing anything.
Please cite your source.
I did.
Substantiate your claims.
Okay, what was it? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Hashtag daddy. Until you substantiate your claims, we're not moving on. I'll give you a minute to go find the research that you were talking about, because it's audacious that you're telling people to substantiate anything when you're the one who's making claims.
Okay.
I literally gave you the study too that I mentioned.
Okay, could you please repeat it so I can look it up? I'm sorry, I didn't hear it.
Debunking a myth, plant consciousness.
Okay, I will look that up.
I want to sit here though while you read it though. Okay.
Have you read any other contrary reports of it?
I've read plenty. I know that plants are not sentient. They don't respond. They don't have a brain or a central nervous system. They don't have the organs required to express sentience. Just like in order to have kidney stones, you have to have kidneys, right? You can't have kidney stones if you don't have kidneys. You can't have a heart attack unless you have a heart. So you can't have sentience unless you have the proper organs to express an experience. So that's how I know plants are not sentient. But let's steel man you, okay? Let's ignore the science. Plants are sentient.
Look,
Hold on, Daddy. Hush. Let's say that you're right. Plants are sentient. The animals you use, what do you think that we're growing to feed them? We raise 92.2 billion animals, okay? Every year. What are we feeding them? I'll give you a...
To refute...
You're not going to answer me.
To refute your point...
What are we feeding 92.2 billion animals? What are we feeding them?
We're feeding them vegetation
right.
and water.
Right.
Okay.
So hold on a second. I'm going to add one more study to you, and then I'll let you monologue, okay? There's a study called Reducing Food's Environmental Impact Through Producers and Consumers. This study went over thousands of farms in hundreds of countries, and they found that we're actually using 83% of our agricultural land to raise and feed animals. If we stopped animal agriculture, we could reduce that by 75%. We could use less ag land and feed up to 10 billion people. So if plant sentience is something you care about, or you think that we should care about plant welfare, you would be vegan, as we would be breeding far fewer plants into existence if we didn't raise animals. I want to make sure that you heard me. Stop. Did you hear me? What can you please iterate to me what I said?
That we grow vegetation to feed the cattle and
what else did I say? What did I say about the land use?
So if we wanted
to hold on, what did I say about the land use? What did I say about the land use? How much land are we using to raise animals, and how much would we save if we stopped animal ag? Did you hear those numbers? I said if we stopped animal agriculture, we stopped growing a ton of monocrops. We feed a lot of crops to these animals. A cow eats way more than a person. We feed more food to animals than we do to humans every day, okay? We could cut that out because the animals are getting their vitamins, their nutrients, all from their food. Cut out the middleman, eat it directly. That's all I'm advocating for. Stop using someone, start eating the something. Does that make sense, hashtag? HD? I said I was going to call you HD.
I'm sorry. This is what I was saying about the plant sentience. It wasn't me advocating for people to not eat plants.
Okay.
That's not what my
I don't care about plant welfare. Hold on.
point-
You have a misunderstanding then. Veganism doesn't care about unaliving someone. It's about exploitation. It's about using someone who makes preferences, right? Using someone without their consent for your benefit. That's all I care about. Bringing up plant sentience is a red herring. That's you distracting from what I'm talking about on something that's not even true. Look, HD. Animals are sentient. No question about it. You're going on about plants. I don't want to talk about plants. I want to talk about why you are not respecting it. Good God, dude. Do you want to have stop. If you can't have a conversation, I'll just drop you. I'm not here to fight. I get upset if you're not listening and you're just defending animal abuse, because that's what you're doing. You're not looking for a solution. You're looking for a loophole. Do you see the difference? You're not looking for a way to get over your obstacles. You want to keep using animals.
Can I say something?
I don't know because you're not listening. Are you listening? What did I just say?
I am listening.
What did I just say then?
I'm listening.
What did I just say?
You bash me.
Oh, God, I don't want to talk to you. If you can't handle the conversation, just leave, okay? If it's too hard for you, you can't connect those two dots, just leave, okay? Like,
You were lenient. Jeez. Like, you made claims and like you just started dropping data on him. And then he was still asking for more sources. I was like, damn, just make him squirm
That's
and
true.
provide the data.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. Because he clearly isn't here to make an argument. He just wants to make his claim and think that he's won right there. He doesn't want to back it up, just wants to state his claim, and that's it. He's won. Yeah. I don't know. I'm genuinely concerned for these animals, right? That's why there's urgency. Every time you pick up these packages, they lose everything. That's why it matters. I don't care what you do. I care about the animals. Hey, Warrior.
Yo, what's up?
Have I talked to you before?
No.
Oh, okay. Your image.
My first time.
Okay. Welcome up. Are you over 18?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Why?
25.
Okay. Why aren't you vegan yet?
Because I work out and I need protein in my system.
I mean, do you want to use animals or don't you? Oh, go ahead, Ozell. You take that over.
I guess.
I was just gonna ask, what's a protein?
Well, I like to do meats, like red meats.
No, I'm asking, like, what exactly is a protein? You're saying you need the protein. What exactly is a protein?
Are you asking me because you don't know, or are you asking me because you're trying to see like where my knowledge is at?
See where your knowledge is at, because you're making a claim and an assumption that you need meat to fulfill this need. So I'm trying to understand, like,
Well, like that's the whole reason I'm saying it, right? I'm not trying to like if you're coming off as like aggressive to me right now.
no, I'm not.
The
I'm not.
reason I'm
because-
saying I eat meat is because I need protein.
Yeah, I
If
know.
there is any other way that
absolutely.
you would recommend to take protein, then go ahead and say it. Like there's
Sure.
no
No,
like
I was
let's
asking,
not
like,
have a
if you
10-year-old
knew-
discussion where it's like, oh, do you even know what protein is?
What
Like,
do you
yes,
mean
of course I know
10-year-old
what protein is.
discussion? I'm literally getting ready to give you research right now.
Then let's go. We don't
Right?
need.
So
We
I
don't
was
need.
asking
I don't
you
need
if
a
you knew what a
10-year-old question.
protein
I
is.
know what protein is.
Okay, so then I'll ask you, what's a protein?
A protein is an intake that you eat or drink, because I know some people make drinks with protein.
A protein. All right, a
To
protein's an
gain
amino acid,
muscle.
right? It's just a chemical that your body uses to for various processes, right? So I'm going to read you this study. It's published on PubMed. It's called "High Protein Plant-Based Diet versus a Protein Matched Omnivorous Diet to Support Resistance Training Adaptations: A Comparison Between Habitual Vegans and Omnivores." And the conclusion was a high protein, exclusively plant-based diet is not different than a protein matched mixed diet, and supporting muscle strength and mass accrual, suggesting that protein sources does not affect resistance training induced adaptations, right? So if you have a protein matched diet on using plant protein versus animal protein, the outcome from the training is going to be the same.
Really? So you're telling me that I've done both. I've done training with only water, and
I'm
I've
not
done
interested
training
in
with
your
protein.
anecdote. Yeah, I'm not interested in your anecdote. I just read you research on protein comparisons and
Yeah,
training.
something you read off the internet, right? And something that I actually did in real life.
Something published on PubMed,
Yeah, and
right?
something
PubMed
versus
is like
something
one
that
of
I
the
did in real
biggest.
life.
Yeah. I'm not interested in your anecdote.
It's
Like
not
I
an
can make
anecdote, it's a
I can provide
testimony.
a claim. Like, listen, I've been eating like plant-based protein for like 6 years. I am massive. I am shredded to the bone, like
Yeah, you can
2%
get
body
shredded.
fat,
Yeah, you
and I'm
can get
huge.
muscle.
And I'm like so strong,
You
right?
can get muscle
I can
with
bench press like 2,000 pounds.
no, you can't.
Well, I did it, right?
You can't bench 2,000 pounds, bro.
That's what it sounds
That's
like when
unrealistic.
somebody says, "Well, I'm
That's
not going to listen to the
unrealistic.
research.
What a
I'm not going
10
to listen to the research. I just did it." That's what it sounds like when you say claims like that. So that's why it's important to rely on empirical data, which I presented you. The data says that protein matched diets, Like whether it's like the comparison between the two, there was no difference in training adaptations. That's my point. It's not something I just Googled. That's what the published peer-reviewed data says. Like that is a scientific process and data collection.
Okay,
Right?
so I have
It's
a
not
question.
just somebody saying, oh, hey, this is the case that I pulled up on Google. That was my point, Warrior. That's
So
all I wanted to let you know.
Okay, so I have a question. If I do the same workouts,
You're covering your mic, Warrior. There you go.
if I do the same workout for 6 months with a different diet, right? Let's say I eat a salad for 6 months and I eat only meat for 6 months, I'm gonna have the same exact body structure.
Salad versus meat. Why would you compare salad? Why wouldn't you compare tempeh, tofu, beans, nuts? Why wouldn't you compare any of those? A protein powder shake. Why wouldn't you use any of those?
That would be like you saying. That would be like you saying, like I'm gonna eat like I won't get nutrients from eating a stick of butter versus like eating spinach. That's how ridiculous that comparison is. There are protein-packed, high-density caloric foods that are made from plants.
There's also different things that come into salads as well. You're saying like I just want to eat lettuce or something.
You're making it sound like, yeah.
You might be a moral patient. I'm not sure if you're like really capable of this conversation.
Okay, well you didn't answer my question though. Even if I did say peanuts or whatever you guys said, am I gonna have the same body structure?
Yeah.
As if I ate
If you eat a diet that has all your amino acids, yes, you're going to build muscle just like you would if you were using animals. There's a movie or documentary called Game Changers. They go over this. Ozell just quoted you a study that found that when amino acids were accounted for, it doesn't matter the source, you're going to build muscle. Protein is protein.
The thing is, I've done it though, and it's not true.
Warrior, you haven't.
Shitty diet planning doesn't imply that you can't do it. That just comes down to your shitty diet planning.
Resources.
That's also a personal opinion.
So, Warrior, tell me, how are there so many vegan bodybuilders?
I have never heard of one.
Patrick Baboumian. There's Patrick Baboumian. Go look him up. Nehemiah Delgado, Brian Turner, what was his name? Washington. What's his first name? Does anybody remember?
I'm honestly not sure. I don't really keep up on much of that.
It's like Tyler Washington or something. They're all ripped, huge. If you go on Game Changers, they'll also show you other athletes that are purely plant-based that actually find it to be an advantage for them. So
okay, but plant-based, but like, are they eating plant-based meats?
They eat different diets. They're all plant-based, but they take different approaches. If you want to talk to one of them, I know that Brian Turner and the Hinch Herbivore are both coaches, and they would absolutely help you, especially the Hinch Herbivore. I know that he eats a whole food plant-based diet, so if you're worried about health, he can help you, build muscle while also eating a whole food plant-based diet. Brian Turner, I think, takes a little more of an open approach as far as, like, you're still all plant-based, but he'll use, like, vegan meats as well as, like, a whole food plant-based diet. So it's up to you what you want to do. The point is you're able to do it without using animals. That's all we're here advocating for. Someone doesn't want to be used for you to build a little bit of muscle. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah, that does make sense. But I mean, not but I guess.
I wasn't trying to be condescending either. I was just trying to read the data that's available and express that despite what you might think, like the collected research demonstrates that you can get the same results on a plant-based diet.
Yeah, I know what the data says. I get what you're trying to bring up with the data, but what I'm trying to say is, me personally, I've done a diet with sort of plant-based. I sometimes cheated. And I've also done where I just literally order meat and I eat 2 meals a day with meat. And I've been bigger with just eating meat and doing the same workouts, like literally the same exact workouts.
It just sounds to me that you just didn't know how to feed yourself, though. Like, I have a...
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Go ahead. I was going to say, I just want to add in, I have nutritionfacts.org here, and they have the
But the
easy
thing is-
checklist. And it's all whole foods. It's just a little checklist. You can get everything you need
I
in a
get you,
day.
but I don't think what you guys are. I don't think you guys understand. I did the same workouts though,
Yeah, but Warrior,
right?
go ahead, Ozal. Go
With
ahead.
eating.
I was just gonna say, like, it's very possible, and I'm going to like presuppose that it is the case that you just dieted incorrectly. You didn't have good diet planning, and that's okay. I can agree with you that maybe the plant-based diet you specifically tailored to your lifestyle did not work for you, but that's not because it won't work. It's just because of a lack of diet planning and very likely a lack of understanding, which most people have a lack of understanding in general nutrition, including like a lot of like athletes and stuff like that. It's not uncommon.
Yeah, I get you, but like I don't guess my point is not really coming across because I'm not saying it right. I'm not saying that you can't get as big eating plant-based foods, but what I'm trying to say is if you don't eat meat versus eating meat, doing the same exact workouts, you will be looking different.
That's not what the data says, though. Like, I just read one data, and that's one amongst like many different data. It's like the largest difference, sure, was a very minor aesthetic difference, but the lean tissue that was built was the same, and the difference in size was marginal. Like, this is what the data says. So, like, it very likely came down to a lack of diet planning, or not even necessarily like just when it comes to nutrition. Maybe you just weren't getting enough calories with what you were eating, but that's still diet planning, right? Like, I know you think this to be the case and you're coming from a place of bias, which I also understand. I used to consume animals and I was a very competitive athlete, both as a carnist and a vegan, right? I had that bias before. I understand. But I'm telling you, like, it's just like all of the data available that like compares the two demonstrates that there really isn't like a significant difference other than some bioavailability, which even also demonstrates isn't really that significant of an issue.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess I see what you're saying when you say like the significance of difference because I wasn't like too different, but I was a lot leaner.
Well,
And
hold
I see
on,
what
hold
you
on.
mean.
I think we're just getting so lost, though, into your benefits. Would you, if it was convenient and cheap, buy human flesh off the shelf so that you could gain muscle faster? Would you think that would be the right thing to do?
No, because I also don't support what do you call it? Steroids.
No, that's not what I said.
Right.
What I said is the animals that you're consuming when like you were a carnivore,
Yeah.
right? Let's say they're not animal anymore. They're not non-human animals. They're human animals. Would you still
Yeah.
consume the meat?
For the benefit of training?
Yeah,
No,
exactly. And why not?
because I've done like I said,
No,
I've
no, no,
done
no, no,
training
no, no,
without
no,
meat.
no, no. You're not listening. Why would you not eat the human flesh?
Because it's human.
Right, because you can relate with another human, right? You know that that other human didn't want to be unalived. They wanted to keep living, just like you want to keep living, right?
I mean, I've never spoken to an animal before.
Okay, so because someone can't verbalize consent to you, does that mean you can do what you want to them?
Well, the reason I would say yes is because they're not made in the image of God, and we are.
Really?
That's just the truth. Is we are made in the image of God.
Do I have to spank you with your own religion? Because you clearly don't actually follow this religion. You just heard someone make this excuse. And it makes me sad because those that do believe in this religion, you're insulting them right now. Because you're tokenizing them, and that's terrible.
That's what Jesus,
It's terrible.
That's what Jesus said.
Yeah, quote me Jesus saying that you have to stab animals. What's the quote?
There's a quote that doesn't say the opposite.
Jesus never unalived an animal. Did you know that?
Jesus never unalived an animal.
Nope. Never did.
Well, eating animals was for only rich people back in the days when he was alive.
Oh, but I thought you said you knew
And-
everything about your Bible.
and they also sacrificed lambs.
What was the first chapter of that
Not Jesus
book?
specifically.
Warrior, clearly you are
Genesis.
a religion, scholar here. What was the
Yeah.
first chapter? What happened in that first chapter of the book?
In Genesis.
Yeah, what was the first thing that God put on this earth? Was
God.
it the Garden of Eden?
No.
He didn't make the
He
Garden
created
of
the
Eden?
heavens. He created the heavens in the beginning.
Yeah.
There was no light,
Okay.
and God, with His breath, created the heavens and the earth, and then there was life.
So there's no Garden of Eden in that first chapter. You sure you know your book?
If you're searching it up right now, it's a little bit further down.
Oh, so it is
But
in the
that's the
beginning.
beginning of it.
It is in the beginning. The Garden of Eden is in the beginning of the book. Good. I'm glad we agree. Was the Garden of Eden, did God describe it as perfect?
It was perfect.
Was there any harm in the Garden of Eden?
I would say so, yeah.
Wow, you really don't know your religion. It says there is no harm.
Well, if we're talking about
The Garden of Eden.
the serpent,
No,
serpent is harm.
no, you're talking about when sin entered the world. I'm talking about when God made the Garden of Eden. Did he say, go slaughter the cows?
No, everything. Actually,
Right.
everything.
He
what you
was
tried to say,
there.
everything
He
was
was
sinless.
actually a steward, right? He was there. God made him to go name the animals and to take care of them. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Can I just
and then
ask-
sin into
Well,
the
let
world.
me just get to my final point. So since the Garden of Eden was vegan and God defined the Garden of Eden as perfect, wouldn't you see all these temptations of pleasure as a test by your God to see if you're actually worthy of being in his kingdom? Because he told you what was perfect, and you're telling me because you have sin, it's okay for you to murder others. But it looks like your God says, don't do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so then why are you
That's what
using
you're
your
trying to say,
religion
right?
as an excuse?
Okay, let's go. Let's ask a better question, right?
No, I asked you all the better questions. So the next question that you have is probably not better.
So what you're trying to say right now is trying to say that everybody that's eating meat is not going to go into heaven.
I'm saying that God probably does not look upon that fondly.
So you think Jesus?
Yeah, go
never
ahead, Ozel.
ate
Go ahead.
meat?
Warrior, I wanted to ask, are you implying that like you get your ethics from the Bible?
Most of them, yeah.
What do you mean by most of them?
Because I'm still a sinner.
Well, okay, like so I mean, do you believe that the Bible is where ethics should be
I think Jesus perfected them, yeah.
okay, so you're implying that that the Bible is where ethics are derived from.
Yes, I think every country needs those ethics.
Awesome. So how do you feel about human exploitation then? Since you believe it's okay to exploit animals because the Bible says we don't or doesn't say we shouldn't, how do you feel about human exploitation
The human exploitation that happened in the Old Testament.
and the New Testament?
When did it happen in the New Testament?
Yeah, I can just read Ephesians 6:5-9. Slaves, obey your earthly masters with respect and fear and with sincerity of heart.
Of course, brother. Of course. So here's how I would put it.
Wait,
I'm
hold on.
trying
No,
to-
no.
Yeah.
I just read the text, right?
Yeah.
And I guarantee I can ask you to go read the other text that says, like, we should eat animals. And you're about to say, well, the context of this is different. And if you say that, I'm going to ask you,
No.
then why shouldn't we assume that the context
You're answering
of us consuming
you're
animals-
answering for me. Can I answer and then you can say something? You're saying you're gonna say this.
I don't
Can
care about
say it
the
at least?
context you're going to assume that it says.
I'm telling you what the verse means.
Yeah, it's going to be your
Bro.
interpretation of it, not scholarly interpretation, your interpretation, because you don't want to confront that. And I can tell you that the verse that you read to me, I'll say, well, I'm going to tell you what that means actually.
Okay, obey your masters as slaves would.
Slaves, obey your earthly masters.
Yeah.
Slaves, as in people that are owned by other people, obey
Yeah.
your earthly masters with respect and fear and with
Yeah.
sincerity of heart.
Yes. Jesus spoke in very metaphorically terms. I am
Nope.
respecting vegan stoner lady because she is a master of this panel, so I am being 100%
Oh, so
respectful.
you're
That's what it
just gonna
means.
pivot away from like the ethics of your Bible. That there's nowhere
Bro.
in the Bible that actually says thou shalt not own slaves or thou shalt not exploit other humans. You're just cherry picking now and special pleading.
You're cherry picking the verse though. You should read the whole chapter instead of just cherry picking.
Yeah, no, I have no issue. I will read you the whole thing, and then I will read you Leviticus, since you're deriving your like your animal consumption from the Old Testament, which means you also adhere to the Old Testament. So I'll finish this one, right? Slaves, obey your earthly masters with respect and fear, with sincerity of heart, just as you would obey Christ. Obey them not only to win their favor when their eye is on you, but as slaves of Christ, doing the will of God from your heart. Serve wholeheartedly as if you were serving the Lord, not people, because
Yeah,
you know that the
exactly.
Lord will reward
Amen.
you. Yeah, so essentially, slaves,
Amen.
obey your earthly masters as you would obey the Lord. But let's go back to Leviticus, right, which is part of the Old Testament, which is where you are deriving that it is okay for you to consume animals. Your male and female slaves are, this is Leviticus 25, 44 through 46. Your male and female slaves are to come from the nations around you. From them you may buy slaves. You may also buy some of your temporary residents living among you and members of their clans born in your country, and they will become your property. You can bequeath them to your children as inherited property and can make them slaves for life, but you must not rule over your fellow Israelites ruthlessly. So I'm going to ask you again, since you are saying that the Bible says it's okay for you to exploit other animals, you have to, or do you believe that since the Bible says that it's okay and gives instructions on how to keep slaves, that it's okay to own slaves?
The Old Testament is a different.
I read you a passage from the Old
Bro, let
Testament
me
and the New
answer,
Testament.
bro.
Well, no, because now you're
Well,
pivoting,
no,
right?
I'm not
Because
pivoting.
okay,
I'm
so
giving
then
you my
which
answer.
passage says that you can eat animals?
Bro, you
Which
asked
passage?
so far.
Which book? I'm asking you
So
really
far,
quickly.
you have asked me 3
Just for
questions. Spoke for
clarification,
5
Warrior.
minutes.
Warrior, just for clarification, which book are you deriving the fact that it's okay to eat animals from?
No, that's a 4th question. Which one do you want me to
So
answer?
I'm going to add that last question. Which book specifically are you implying says it's okay for you to eat animals?
I've never said that.
Was it Genesis?
I've never said that.
I'm asking you which book.
No book implies whether it's okay to eat or not eat animals. That's my
Then
point.
why are you using that as a justification?
Because
Just so you remember, because I don't, it was a while ago. What you said was humans are made in the image of God and animals are not. But that doesn't bring out the justification of why it's okay to use them without their consent when you don't have to. Do you understand? Do you understand?
My point is, how will we ever get their consent?
No, so now you're just pivoting, right? Because
Bro, everything is pivoting to you.
You said because of God, it's
Bro,
okay for us
everything
to
is
exploit
pivoting.
animals, and I'm telling you because
This
of
guy.
God, it's okay for us to exploit humans as well. So I want you to justify that, or just nix the idea that God has anything to do with this, and just take accountability for your own actions.
I mean, it's not like I'm doing anything bad, honestly.
So exploitation's not bad then.
Exactly.
For animals or humans? Because you're bringing up slavery.
Humans, animals?
You're comparing eating animals to slavery.
That's
So
not the
what do you
question
want
I
me to-
asked you. Are humans
So what do you
animals?
want me to answer?
Are humans animals?
No.
What are we biologically then?
We are made in the image of God. You think we came from monkeys or what?
Okay, so again, then, if we're invoking that we are in the image of God, which the Bible says in the Old Testament, then you have to be willing to accept that it is permissible for Israelites to keep non-Israelites as slaves, and that you, probably being a non-Israelite, if you're kept as a slave, need to obey your earthly master according to the New Testament.
I do. I respect all my earthly masters.
Yeah, so you think slavery is permissible then?
The thing is, you're taking it out of context. Jesus perfected the laws of the Torah.
That's just your opinion, right? So
It's not
I'm
an
just going to
opinion.
ask
It's
you one more
facts.
time.
It's not opinion.
If you're not willing
The
to
truth.
accept, if you're not willing, like you're saying that we were made in the image of God, so that means you're invoking the Bible. If you're not willing to accept all of the ethical implications of the Bible, then you are just cherry picking and being inconsistent. So we can move on from that and address your personal accountability. I just wanted to follow up with how inconsistent your line of reasoning is by using the Bible to
Right.
justify it, right? Because if you use the Bible to
If that's
justify
what you
animal
think.
consumption, you have to be willing to use it to justify like human exploitation
If
as well. There's no way around that. And your
no,
opinion
not
doesn't
really.
change
The
that. Yeah, your
Bible, the
opinion.
Bible was not written for that.
Yeah,
God
your
did not want
opinion
us to use the
doesn't
Bible
change it.
for
Yeah, the
that.
Bible gives instructions, right?
If
And
the
one of the
Bible gives
instructions
instructions
is
for
how to keep
yourself,
slaves, right?
for
Yep. And
yourself.
and it gives me, as myself being an Israelite, it gives me instructions on how to keep slaves. So, thank you,
You're an Israelite.
weirdo. Yeah,
What is an Israelite? What part?
from the
What Israel are
Levant,
you?
right? Right from the Levant, like the Middle East.
Uh
Yep.
huh.
Yeah, I know
That's
what
where
an
you're from.
Israelite is. I know what an Israelite is. I know the 5 books of Moses. So I'm just telling you, it doesn't matter. Now you're just deflecting and throwing a red herring.
If
So I'm just
if
going to say again, since
if
you
you
invoked the
knew, then you'd
Bible,
be
no.
different.
So I'm just going to say,
If you knew, you'd be
I
different.
just said where I was from, right? So I'm just going to tell you right
False
now.
prophet.
You invoked the Bible. You said,
False prophet.
God, we were made in the image of God. Therefore, it's okay for us to exploit others. And I just
False
expressed
prophet.
then both the Old and
Warrior,
New
he
Testament.
didn't call himself a prophet.
Yeah, but when you start using the Bible against other people, that's a sin.
What are you doing?
Not using it against
How
him.
am I using the Bible against anybody? I'm
You're
just
like, oh,
testing your
you're
consistency. I never said whether the Bible was ethical or not. That is a claim that you
buddy.
made. You
You're
made the
trying.
claim
You're,
that
you're
no,
trying to
Warrior.
call me names after being.
What name did I call you?
Honestly, guys, I'm really done with this conversation. Warrior, I don't care what your religion is. It's fine. You know, the issue is you're using something you don't even fully understand to defend an action that you still don't even understand the gravity of it.
It's because you guys are comparing eating food with having slaves.
Can
like,
you
what?
tell me the morally relevant?
what?
Shut up. Can you tell me the
Your
morally?
mom.
Wow. See, you clearly have mush brain, and it's where you cannot help but throw out ad hominems or be a child, immature. Like your little neurons are struggling so hard that you just get mad. And it's like, why don't you just like listen for a second? Your religion has nothing to do with it. And if you truly followed your Christian religion, I guarantee you would understand your God is telling you, don't do it unless you absolutely have to. Because he didn't let you do it until sin entered the world. There's actually a great documentary that shows that you potentially are even being manipulated further. You know, like parts of what you've been told have been changed, misinterpreted. There's a documentary called Christspiracy, and it's not a debunk film for religion. It's about looking at the sea scrolls and actual terms that we have, like dominion, right? Or the word, I forgot what it was, but the word that they use for something you put on bread. It has been misinterpreted as fish when it could have been seaweed. So it's just a great documentary to watch because it sounds like it's kind of the beginnings of capitalism. Humans weren't, in that time, consuming animal flesh unless it was sacrificed to their gods first. So then that was being forced against them, and they would then have to go to these temples, and it's basically just the beginning of capitalism, making people have to buy things so that somebody was getting rich. So check out that documentary.
I apologize. I was really trying to move it back to the ethics.
Yeah, I know you are. Ozell, honestly, I have no problem with you going off because you're very knowledgeable and I learn things every time. So I didn't mean to necessarily cut you off. It was more him because he wasn't absorbing anything. He was just saying, that's not true. I'm going to keep doing what I do. Despite what you say.
I was about to recommend dropping him regardless, but I just wanted to say, like, I just try to point out the inconsistencies.
Absolutely.
I really try my hardest not to drag those on. Sometimes they do, so I apologize if that dragged on too long.
Oh, I don't need your apology, but I appreciate your sentiment. Thank you. Because I've talked to other, like, for example, there's a vegan heretic in the chat. please reach out to them. He is a fantastic vegan activist. He actually goes on the street and interviews people. He posts videos of it. But he also talks about the Bible, and he talks about how it's actually giving more of a vegan perspective than people think. And I appreciate him being out there and educating, his fellow followers, because...
Yeah, and just for anybody listening, I have nothing against Christians or Christianity. I actually believe that Jesus intended to teach compassion.
Yes.
And a lot of people take what Jesus was teaching out of context. So my contention is not with that at all. It's specifically with the skewed scripture and the justifications people use to harm others with it.
Exactly. That's my biggest issue too. If you use it as an excuse to do an atrocity, I'm going to question you about it. And in addition, to even avoid the whole religious thing, it's just that sometimes people just don't even understand the religion, and it's pretty frustrating. But even if, let's say, your God said you have to unalive an animal, right, or you have to violate someone, what kind of God are you worshiping? And if your God said you could violate my rights, I wouldn't tolerate that. I don't care if your God is real or not. I'm not going to tolerate you violating me. That's not acceptable. Not without my consent. Why is it any different for the animals? Just because you can't hear them say no? There's no repercussions to you? That's why we talk about morality. We're talking about what's right and wrong in the absence of law, in the absence of, some kind of consequence. Why would we want to care about others? Because if we were in that situation, we would want somebody standing up for us, and at minimum, not demanding our exploitation. That's the whole point. Anyway, enough monologuing. Bring up the next guest. Let's see. Okay, so I've got another, I'll be up another 20 minutes. Oh, you know what? Actually, I didn't even say hello to David. Hey, the 40-year-old vegan. I didn't even say hello when you were up here. Hold on, Death Mall.
That's okay. How's it going, guys?
It's going well.
I've just been listening. And I was gonna throw in like a couple anecdotes. I don't know,
please.
When people talk about religion, it's very odd to me because slaughterhouses have higher rates of PTSD. People turn to drugs, alcohol. They have workplace injuries, and it creates more violent crimes in those communities. So it's very odd to me that people would bring up religion and the do unto others principle while enacting that on their fellow humans, right? I mean, isn't that a core principle of religion? So it was just something else I was going to bring up. But great job, guys.
Thank you. Yeah, no, those are great points. It doesn't have a little asterisk that says only humans. Thou shalt not unalive. All right, Death Mall, I appreciate your patience. You can go ahead and unmute. Are you over 18?
Hello.
Hi. Are you over 18?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Why aren't you vegan?
I just had a few questions about kind of vegan ethics. I wanted to get your perspective on a few things because I haven't been able to talk to that many people about it.
Okay.
I heard you bring up capitalism a little bit earlier. I'm kind of curious as to how you see how capitalism or how factory farming and the meat industry fits into capitalism and why it's such a big industry and why it's so profitable.
They also include pharma. Big pharma is involved with animal ag also.
I think it's a long line of somebody being in power, telling others that they need to participate in something and manipulating them through some means like their religion or, telling them that they'll only be successful if they use animals.
Okay, that's interesting.
I mean, ooh, it's loud in your background. It's kind of
I'm sorry,
it's more like, how many times a day are we told through commercials that the only way to be successful with friends, jobs, life in general is to consume animal products, right? We're told that often. So it's almost like a brainwashing. If you're told something frequently enough, you just start to believe it.
What are you referring to specifically? Are you talking about beauty products and...
Yeah, all of it. Yeah.
Things like that?
We're constantly told to not consider the animals as victims. We're told to just consider them as resources.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely true.
Yeah.
I can agree
so
with that.
That's why...
Yeah, I would just...
Go ahead, Ozell.
I just want to say, I would just like to say, like, nobody's immune to propaganda.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that's a big reason why there's such acceptance of even capitalism itself.
I mean, we had human slavery, right? A lot of people thought that was okay.
Yeah. I'm also curious about, so do you guys, like, what's your perspective on kind of the necessity to eat animals over time? Sort of like, do you believe that there was ever a period of time, and how recently was that period of time, where it was necessary for humans to survive by eating animals, and that now that we're in a different place,
Depends.
we have sort of like the ethical
It depends.
decision?
There's different populations with different obstacles, but we have.
I'll be specific about America. So, like, let's say here in America or the UK, like sort of the Western, Western world that we're familiar with.
Okay, repeat the question. Maybe I lost track of it there.
I was curious, like, kind of if you have any, like, historical knowledge or information on, like, when it became. Like when it became not necessary.
It's hard to
eat
say
animals,
because I don't know the situations back then, but I know that right now, we don't need to. So as far as how recently it was, I don't know, because we have evidence of Pythagoras advocating for animal rights, and that was 1,000 years ago.
Yeah,
I mean, I would just say, like, when the conditions, like, just arose for somebody to have options to not do it would be sufficient enough, because those exist right now, right? So I guess it doesn't necessarily matter when it occurred. It just matters that it is the case right now.
Right.
So my kind of spot that I'm in is that if it's 100%, health-wise and nutrition-wise, you can get the exact same benefits by sticking to a plant-based diet. It just takes a little bit more effort, maybe, nutrition planning. It kind of, the entire thing just shifts ethically, because if there's no nutritional argument, then there's no practical. It's just whether or not you do it because it's wrong or right? That's kind of the way that I see it.
You're on mute right now, VSL.
It's not whether or not you're right or wrong in consuming animal flesh. It's, are you demanding someone's exploitation for you to enjoy that?
Yeah, sure. That's a better way to put it.
Yeah. So is it acceptable to do that, do you think, in your mind?
Yeah, I'm not decided on that. That's why I'm.
Well, so
I wanted to get a little bit more information.
Go ahead, Isel. Sorry.
Do you like require, like, research or information that demonstrates, like, that you don't need it, or, like, what's the case? I just want to kind of make sure so we can, like, address your concerns or your inquiry properly.
Yeah. So currently I do eat meat. I do it because I enjoy it and I don't think about it that much. So that's the spot that I'm in, and I don't see like an argument as to why that's a good thing. I don't see any reason to do that except for the fact that I do it because I enjoy it. So
you're just trying to reconcile, like your own performative contradiction?
I'm kind of trying to understand a little bit more the limit, like what it means to what vegan people's beliefs are.
Okay, I gotcha.
What the other thing is, so I can see where I fit, like, so I can kind of orient myself.
I'll just briefly express it to you really quickly. It's a principled stance against the unnecessary exploitation and intended cruelty towards other sentient beings, right? And what I mean by intended cruelty, like, you're just going out of your way to maliciously harm somebody because you want to, like, you're going to get thrilled or something. And when I'm talking about unnecessary in this circumstance, I'm referring to, like, what is a requirement for survival or within practicability and possibility, right?
So that's exactly what I was asking about earlier. So
yep. So
Yeah.
most people have access to non-exploitive options when it comes to food, like direct exploitation on like animals and stuff like that, right? Unfortunately, like there's always the possibility of human exploitation, and in most cases, it's like impossible to even tell if that's the case or not. So we do know that animal consumption itself is 100% certainly exploitive, right? When it comes to like our agricultural practices. So, like, I guess the question I'd have to ask you and to maybe think about is like, what would your like logical justification be to unnecessarily exploit another sentient individual?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to contend with, and basically I want a better answer for myself. I don't. I mean, you can judge me if you want. I do.
No, it's not about judging you, right?
I
We're
mean,
just having this conversation.
yeah, for sure. I mean, like I am completely aware of the ethical, and I'm aware of the suffering and the problems. Yet I decide to eat.
You say you're aware
animals anyway. So you can
hold on, but you say you're aware. I don't think you are, right? Like a chicken is manhandled, often has their legs, their wings broken in the transport to the slaughterhouse. They're hung upside down.
I've done a lot of research.
They're hung upside down.
Farms.
This isn't factory farm. Even free range, grass fed, whatever, those animals still go to the same slaughterhouses. So the chickens,
I bet.
So it doesn't matter the label. They're going through the same process that I'm describing. All right. So
I understand.
The chickens are
I mean, I've seen the most horrific.
Okay, so then if you know, then tell
I
me.
do understand.
Tell me, what do they do to the chicken once they get to the slaughterhouse? Walk me through it.
I am
okay. So they take the chickens.
That's important.
It is. It is important. Because you say that you.
I don't believe that the
hold on. I need you to stop talking for a second. You keep saying you understand the ethics, but you don't even know what we're doing to them. Do you see how that doesn't add up? So I'm going to walk you through what they go through, and you tell me if this sounds fair, okay? So we grab the chickens, whichever manner we can, either by the wing, by the leg, by the neck. We flip them upside down. We hang their ankles, by the ankles, into shackles. This often pushes their organs against their lungs. They're supposed to pass out from this, but many of them don't. You can see their heads lifting. Then they get dragged through a bath of electricity, just a tub of water that's been electrified. They get dragged through that to stun them. Does that already sound comfortable? I don't know about you. I don't want to be dragged into an electric bath. That sounds like a terrible way to go. Though there are many of them, again, lift their head, don't even get the stun. And many of them will come to even after they've been stunned. And then they meet these two spinning blades. It removes their head. And again, many of them are conscious when this happens. And if they get through that blade without unaliving, someone with a knife comes up, grabs their head, and slits their throat. And then they're put into another scalding tank to burn off all the dirt and feathers. Does any of this sound fair? Would you tolerate human babies going through that system like that? You can unmute now. It's in the middle.
Okay. I really don't see how that's relevant. Of course I would not want human babies going through that.
Why not?
Because I don't think that it would be any more right if they sent them to a slaughterhouse, treated them nicely, and then killed them.
That is the nice way.
Anesthetized them.
They don't. Okay, stop. What I described to you are the most humane methods that they use for chickens right now. They can't.
I know.
I'm
saying I don't even think that
they cannot squirt a drug into their muscle like we do with our cats and dogs, because we will eat their flesh and we'll eat the chemical.
Okay, I didn't say I.
You did.
Please. I said I don't think that it would even be right to kill an animal in any situation. So I don't see that it's how it's relevant
why aren't you
that they're
vegan?
being tortured as well. That's what I'm saying is that's what I'm.
No, I'm asking you,
confused about.
why aren't
I
you
think-
vegan then? I agree with you. There is
probably
no
because I'm
humane way.
self-centered.
There's no right way to do the wrong thing, right? You can't take someone's life from them who wanted to live in a moral way. There's just no moral way to take someone's life who wanted to live.
I agree.
Okay.
But So I don't see the relevance in bringing up.
I bring it up because many people think that they're choosing a humane method. They're choosing the better.
I don't believe that exists.
They're giving money to somebody who's doing it the right way. So that's why I bring that up.
Yeah,
I'm confused then. Why do you give your money to those people?
Because I enjoy.
So it is okay then, as long as you benefit from the exploitation and torture.
I didn't say that.
You did though.
That's what I'm.
So what matters more, your words or your actions? What matters more?
Please.
What matters more? What matters more? The fact that you're complaining about how I'm treating you shows me that you're now scared to answer my questions. And if you can't handle it, that's fine. We can move on. You've been up here a while.
I'm actually a little uncomfortable to speak in public, and so that's why I'm a little nervous.
That's
fine.
fine.
I would appreciate if you were a little bit more.
I'm not going to be nice to you.
You're being a little aggressive.
Look, Darth, until you start respecting the animals, I don't have to respect you. Okay, I will.
Did I not see that? Did I not say that earlier? You can judge me if
matters,
you want.
I'm not judging you. I'm disrespecting you because you choose to disrespect the animals. You're taking everything from them on a whim. Like, you're not even taking this seriously. You agreed with me that taking an animal's life, for whatever reason, if they wanted to live, is immoral. And then you go back to, but I'm going to keep doing it. Like, why are you up here then? If you can't find the button, it's in the middle. We can't hear you. You just yapping to yourself?
Yeah. I'm not familiar with this.
Okay.
Yeah,
so go ahead.
I am here to.
I'm glad that you're here to learn, but you're still thinking of animals as a resource and that you're morally accepted to do so, to use them as resources.
So that's the thing, is that I feel like we're having a little bit of miscommunication, because I don't think that it's right.
Okay, so what's stopping you from living? What's stopping you from living in alignment with your own principles?
My vision of myself. I don't care.
Okay, so let's say that I'm a YT supremacist, and I just say I don't care. What is your response? Should I continue to be racist, or should I stop?
That is not.
But it's how I see myself. This is how I see myself. I see your point. I hear what you're saying, that I shouldn't be racist to other people because they're people. They care about what happens to them. I hear you, but I'm going to keep doing the bad thing that I know is bad. What am I supposed to say to that? You want me to force feed you tofu? Like, I don't know what you're looking for. We already agreed. Taking an animal's life for no reason is immoral. And now you're just saying, well, I just don't care. I don't believe you. For one, you've been up here for 15 minutes defending it, so you do care. It's a long time. Is it just that you know that you're wrong, that you have to make change, and that change is super scary? Is change too scary for you? Do you like?
Yes.
Do you like?
I think that's part of it.
Do you like that animals suffer for you? Does that feel comfortable that you're paying for animals to have knives jammed in their throat? Okay, so what you need to do is decide if you're going to take actions or not. Because right now, you're just doing lip service. Yes, I muted you because I don't want to hear your lip service anymore. I think we're done here. All right? Stop preaching. Stop talking. Go act. When you're in the store, ask yourself, if I was the victim laying there, if it was my mother's flesh on the shelf, what would I want the oppressor to do? Buy my mother's flesh so that the next mother gets shoved in there? Or to abstain? And you should act in the way you think is right and wrong, because no one's going to make you do anything. You have to do it yourself. You're an adult. Welcome to adulthood. All right. I think I'm at my wit's end, guys. I can't stand people going in circles and sitting there saying, I just don't care. It's like, what do you want me to do? Where do we go from here? Like,
first time? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I guess so.
At the end of the day,
I say that because it's extremely common. I mean,
yeah,
it's grinding
Yeah, no, seriously. David, did you say something? I thought I heard you, but it was kind of quiet.
Yeah, I just mentioned that it's all lip service at the end of the day. Take action.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly. This isn't food for thought. I'm going to steal this from Jade again. I can't remember Jade's full name right now. She changed it a couple of times, so I sadly forgot. But I think it's Jade for Veganism? Shit, I can't remember her name. Anyway, Jade.
Justice?
Yes, Jade for Justice. Wow. God, that was so sad that I couldn't remember that. She's such a great activist. How could I forget that? Anyway, Jade for Justice always says, this isn't food for thought. This is a call to action. And it's actually an inaction, right? We're just telling you to not purchase these products. It's an inaction. It's literally super easy to not purchase things. Purchase something else. That's it. But
Can I just say, if you're on YouTube, please smash like, hit subscribe, tell your friends.
please, everyone in YouTube, I see you guys there. Thank you so much for like the mods in there and all the vegans. I see you guys keeping it safe in there too. So thank you for that.
Yeah, Jade and I are actually getting ready to release a track soon.
Oh, that's awesome. Like a song?
Yeah.
What style? Or is it, I don't know if...
Drum and bass.
Okay.
She put a couple of tracks, or did vocals for a couple of tracks of mine.
I love it. I'm pretty sure David has a couple too. You guys might actually connect because you guys, I don't know, have similar tastes it seems like, but I don't know. I don't want to, sorry, I made that weird. That's awesome though that you came up with a song. I love that. I'll keep my eye out for it. Everyone go follow Ozell and also Jade for Justice to get that awesome track that's going to drop. And also follow David, the 40-year-old vegan, on YouTube and on TikTok. Ozell is going to change his name on YouTube. It's Ozark Limbs right now, but look for Ozark Limbs, or if you can't find that, Ozell on YouTube, okay? Same thing with the 40-year-old vegan. He's also on YouTube. It's actually where I see him the most. And like I said, he does great street outreach, and he also does vigils and other protests, and he's really interactive with the audience, which is great. Yeah, I like his lives. They're fun because you can actually talk to him. But anyway, I'm going to call it there. I see I have two requests, Thonk and Darth Maul. Well, Darth Maul, we already spoke, but Thonk, if you're here on Friday, I'll be live Friday 4:20ish. I didn't go live last Friday. I was napping and I totally slept through my alarm, so that was my bad, guys. But I'll be back on Friday 4:22ish p.m. And I would love everyone who's here to be there. If you're not, I'll be live Saturday on anti-animal use and vegan stoner lady. We'll be on the streets interviewing people at the PSU Farmers Market, just asking Portlanders about oppression and what they think about it, exploitation, when is it moral to be exploited. And other than that, do you guys have any last words? Anything you want to share or shout out?
Oh, no, thank you for having us today.
Hell yeah.
David, it was nice seeing you on the panel.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice seeing you guys. Great job.
Yeah.
Great work. You guys are...
David, I gotta say, I'm so happy to see you up here, really. That really made me smile to see you come up. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And then also, Lori already dropped, but definitely go follow Lori. She's always up on Vegan Lives. She's on TikTok. So definitely, everyone go follow another vegan now. Go watch them. There's definitely somebody live right now. I'm sure if Ozell isn't going live, possibly Universe will go live, and I will try to look. Let's see who's live right now. Oh, Mike Burgundy is live. He also is a great advocate, although it looks like he's on his evil twin account, so he might be doing a funny one. He's making fun of people. So anyway, have a great vegan day, you guys, and I'll catch you on Friday, if not Saturday, or just Monday again, 9 a.m. PST now. Okay, guys, have a great vegan day. YouTubers, you're going to see me for a minute. All right.
Take care.
Take care. See ya. Awesome. Okay, YouTube, again, thank you so much for you guys being here. Thank you for your support, and thank you for keeping the chat safe. I didn't thank the TikTok audience for that, but yeah, whatever. Anyway, again, thank you guys for all being here, and check out some other vegans that are live online right now. I don't know who's live on YouTube right now, if there's anybody. But there's definitely going to be someone, I'm sure. So definitely go scroll through the lives in YouTube. But like I said, Mike Burgundy's live, so on TikTok. Check him out. You guys have a great vegan day. All right. I'll see you on the internet. I'll see you out there in the front. Okay. Bye.